How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Elon, SpaceX, come to the rescue. Astronaut stranded in space for 9 months and change, brought back by a SpaceX vehicle when the Boeing Starliner could not. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Don Lemon wants to attack black Republicans. I keep hearing about racism from the right. I always get told, oh, you conservative Republicans, you hate black people, you hate this, you hate that. But all the hatred, violence, racism, slavery, negativity, all comes from the left. This is a classic case of projection. Coming from a guy like Don Lemon, fornicating with a white man every night. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Chuck Schumer, do you hate the taxpayer? I mean, listen, who wants to pay taxes? I don't care if you have $5 in your pocket or $5 million. Nobody wants to pay taxes, especially when the taxes get wasted. If you're going to take my tax money and you want me to have pride in spending the tax money, try not spending the money on a transgender opera in Uganda. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button. If you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got a whole lot going on tonight. There's quite a few videos I've not shown, but shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining. You guys are the best. The Don Lemons of the world, these people, Tampon Tim. Did you guys see Tampon Tim? I'm like, Tim, really? First of all, I don't know why he's even on Gavin's podcast. Like, I don't understand the purpose of having him on there. Tampon Tim, this guy is a grade A dweeb talking about, yeah, I could kick their hind parts. Yeah. I was like, Tim, really? Bro, why would you even say that? Like, why? I just don't understand. It's so weird. It's like nobody's believing the tough guy act. And I think maybe what happens is sometimes they get in these environments where they don't really realize how they look to the world. Maybe Tampon Tim thinks he's a pillar of masculinity. Or maybe he's being told to behave that way because, hey, you know what? I might be a Toyota Prius, but if I behave like a Maserati, if I behave like I'm a Rolls Royce, if I behave like I am a Lamborghini, just maybe I won't be a Prius anymore. It's like, no. You're still a Prius, and that's okay. A Toyota Prius is a nice, economical, high gas mileage, pretty solid build, nice car manufacturer sometimes. It's okay to be a Prius, but why pretend to be a Phantom? Why pretend to be a Porsche? Whoever you are, whatever you are, just understand that's what you are. If you want to be better, then do better. If Tampon Tim does not want to be what he is, I suggest maybe some TRT. Yeah, that the testosterone is most certainly needed. Get that injection right square in your hind parts. Get that, and then go to the gym, and then eat well, and then maybe try not being LGBT. Because I think that maybe you got a little bit of sugar in the tank. You know, you're a little bit light in the loafers, as we say. Little sugar in that tank right there, okay? This man's tank is a gumball machine. You understand what I'm saying? It's a little bit of sugar in the tank. So when you're talking about, yeah, I'm going to kick their hind parts and I fix trucks. It's like, man, come on. I'm not believing it. And a lot of these politicians, I don't really believe. Again, this is why Donald Trump, although a billionaire, although part of the quote unquote elites, if you will, he's like us because he can communicate like us. Whoever Trump is, orange, you could say he's fat, whatever. He is that. He is himself. Versus someone who is Elmer Fudd at best, trying to be Dan Bilzerian or something like this, or some kind of MMA fighter. Orange man, getting money. Everybody loves him. Keep it all the way real, honest, straightforward. That's what we need more of in this country. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how much money you have. We need more authenticity. They don't have that on the left. They're actors trained to deceive you. So then when they have their podcast and they're like, well, we can't connect with the people. First of all, you don't live around us. You live in your ivory towers like Barack Obama and Big Mike. These two guys, or these two people, Big Mike and Barack, they live out in, what's that, in the Hamptons? Is that where they live? Where that dude mysteriously died on their property? Anyway, so Barack and Michelle, you want to try to tell me that y'all brought this young, handsome, built-up, dark-skinned black dude in your house, and he was the White House chef. Now he's in your regular house, and all of a sudden he dies? All right, whatever. But anyway, you live out there in the Hamptons, way away from regular people. You don't interact with regular people. You talk at people rather than talking to them. So you don't understand what they want. What they do on the left, usually, and a lot of politicos do this, what they do is what they think is best for the country. What did they do under Joe Biden? They opened the border up. They thought it was best for the country. We got sky-high inflation. Let all the migrants from all over the world come in, including drugs, guns, human trafficking, all of that. Let all that in because we need the productivity. Meanwhile, we spent $460 billion per year from our taxpayer monies on these people, and we got crime, violence, drugs out of control. The drugs are so crazy. You're talking about fentanyl going for next to no money. Scoring fentanyl is easier than scoring crack. Especially like crack wartime, 80s, is easier than that. The fentanyl, the opioid crisis is worse than crack. Crack was bad because of the violence around the trade of it in the community. That's what made crack bad. You know, a lot of guys ask me, well, they're talking about we got to get these people on fentanyl and opioids, medical treatment and rehabilitation. Where was that at for the black community? First of all, the problem now is more about the overdose deaths. The violence happens south of the border. It happens here too, but more south of the border, the cartels. The violence in the 80s was right in our community. I mean, the 80s, like the crack war. I was on Andre Hatchett's podcast a while back, and he was asking me, what's the worst time for blacks? I said slavery. He said, well, beyond slavery. I said, well, the worst time for blacks beyond slavery was the crack era. I remember that era very well. It was crazy. A war zone, little kids getting killed, all of that. The problem back then was the gang violence over the sale of the crack. Who's able to control the market? Now the problem in the U.S. at least is the deaths. What was that? 100,000 opioid deaths in 1 year? What, about 2 or 3 years ago that happened? 100,000 opioid deaths. And then when you have the border wide open and fentanyl's going for next to no money, it's easy for people to just OD, die. Left Coast, California, Washington, Oregon, Vancouver, BC, Canada, drug infested. I'm seeing some of the videos from Freattle, Washington, and thank you, somebody corrected me. Not Hamptons, but Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, you're out there in Martha's Vineyard among other rich, out-of-touch people, and you don't talk to us. But getting back to it, the drug epidemic on the left coast, out of control. You guys over there, drug infested. I see some of these videos. I saw one video. I can't play it because it was graphic. The scene I saw, it's like, I can't even really put it into words. It was like a dystopian future. Somewhere Freattle, somebody with all kinds of sores on the body, in the public. Listen, you know what? A rule of thumb, if you're ever out anywhere in the USA especially, and you see a water fountain, don't touch it. Matter of fact, don't come anywhere near it. A public water fountain, especially if it's in like a drug infested area, that should have some kind of police tape around it. Don't go anywhere near it. I see some of y'all drinking from those. You might as well drink from the toilet in the airport because it's just that gross. But anyway, I don't want to get too gross with that kind of description. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, fentanyl's no joke, know me train. Fentanyl is no joke at all. It is very, very serious, and we're being flooded with it. Well, we were being flooded more before the border got closed up. It's funny how all it took is one election, one guy to get elected, and all of a sudden the border closes up. They told us another lie that we knew was a lie, talking about, oh, we got to have a bipartisan border bill. Why do we need a bipartisan border bill now when one was not needed before Trump was no longer in office? Now that Trump's back, all of a sudden we right back to his policies that he had while he was a president. From 2016 to 2020, we had one kind of policy on the border, and things worked pretty well. 2020 to 2024, the policy changed, and we suffer as a result. Now, 2025 and on, we have Trump's policies again, and the border is back to a manageable level, back to very low crossings. Simple how that works. But I said that about the border and the whole thing about not needing the bill, just to say that the government, you can't trust them. Leftists, you can't trust them. They'll say that the right always lie. If you watch TV, which a lot of you guys don't, most of you guys don't watch TV, but if you do watch TV and you're watching the left, they'll talk about how Trump lies. So when you talk to your friends and family who still watch TV, you're going to hear some of those same talking points. Oh, well, Trump's a liar. And now the new thing is Elon. Oh, man, they are going crazy over Elon. I got a bunch of new videos, people crashing out over Elon, keying cars. One lady keyed a Rivian. It's like, ma'am, if you're going to be out here, damage your property, getting yourself locked up because you're going to be on camera, why would you deface a vehicle, damage a vehicle, vandalize a vehicle that has a built-in camera that can stream in real time? So I could see you, like I could be on my phone. I could look at you like right here. I could see you on my phone damaging my car. I could see your face, your outfit, your skin color, all of that. Why would you do that? But the one lady keyed a Rivian. It's like, ma'am, that is not a Tesla. That is not a Tesla. I mean, what you gonna key a F-150 next? Okay, so you see a truck, it has big wheels on it. So you're just gonna key that because why? If I ask them, hey, why'd you do that? Why'd you key because he lied. All they're gonna do is just repeat whatever the media tells them. If I see a Rivian or a Tesla or any kind of a Toyota Prius, they might key up a Prius because it's electric. If I see them key any electric car, I know that they're doing that because the media told them to do it. Suggestive programming in their mind. If you ask them, all you're going to get is news talking points. It's because they've been programmed by TV. I said it before, Trump derangement syndrome is contagious and you catch it from television. Same thing, Elon Musk derangement syndrome, meds. Musk, Elon derangement syndrome, MEDS, meds. All right, well, we got a whole lot to get to. Shout out to you guys again for being here. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the sponsors, of course, as always. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more, including the Novax hats in the army green. I love the green color personally. That's my favorite color. My favorite color is green, whether it be this kind of green, like a grass kind of green, any forest green, army green, olive green. That's my favorite color. So if you're ever wondering, hey, what do I get ABL for his birthday or something like this? Random question. All right, give me something green. That'll work. But you know what's funny is that on St. Patrick's Day, I don't even really do that whole thing. I don't really do that. A lot of times I'll be outside. You might try to pinch me. Don't do that. But I'm not really a green on St. Patrick's Day kind of guy. But shout out to all the Irish. Shout out to all the Irish. Shout out to Conor McGregor, everybody out there. All right, you guys are good folk in Ireland. But ABLmerch.com is where you get all the merch, including the no vax hats in the new green color. Also, shout out to my regular website, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I'll have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the front page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my SNML address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact us. And as I always say, please don't get scammed in 2025. They're trying to go really hard with the scamming. There's all kind of crazy emails talking about some YouTube sent you a private video. Click on this link. Listen, you getting texts on your phone that are from random places you don't know, talking about some, oh, your toll's overdue. Don't click any links. Don't click no links at all, period, from random strangers. Also, if you're in the YouTube comment section especially, and you leave a comment on one of my videos, and then someone responds to you who may have my picture and they may have my name, talking about Apple iTunes gift cards and things of this nature, get rich quick, Forex, Bitcoin. It's not me. It's not me. I'm not going to offer you financial advice in the YouTube comment section. All right. If I have financial advice, you're going to see ABL. You're going to see me talking that shit on the show. It ain't going to be in the email, on the WhatsApp, 5,000. It won't be a 5,000 digit phone number. It ain't going to be me over there. Somebody said, why don't I stream on Rumble? I got you, boss. Don't even worry about it. That's next, streaming on Rumble. However, if someone contacts you like that, know it's a scam. It's going to be a guy living in Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, he will be. Or he's going to be over in India, Hyderabad, one of these places like this. Okay, the Indian dude's going to be 15 deep. You're going to be 15 deep. It's going to smell crazy in there. And they're going to be scamming you. I can't do my Indian accent yet, but just know, okay, you already know how they sound. They're going to be scamming you. The Chinese are going to scam you. The Europeans, especially out east, they're going to scam you. You're going to have Vladimir Voldemort, whatever his name is, Zelensky, on the phone talking at you. I need some more money. I need some more money. He going to be on the phone like that at you. Nigeria, we need the money today. God, please put it in the card. Put it in the card today. We need more. So I don't want you guys to get scammed. Nobody has any time for that. All righty. But shout out to you guys again for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. We got a lot going on. We really do have a lot going on. And hold on. I'm reading some of the comments. I'm getting stuck in the comments already. EOW says, why don't the Teslas operate off solar chargers? Solar power or solar chargers? Well, solar power. Well, the long story, a long answer, less long, is that the Tesla vehicles require quite a bit of power, and I don't think solar is going to be able to cut it. Okay, you might be able to power a scooter with a solar power, but a EV, no, you're going to need a real charger hooked up to electricity that comes from probably a coal burning plant, a nuclear plant, or something like this. The funniest thing is when you see these charging stations powered by a diesel engine, that's hilarious, because if the whole purpose is to save the planet and go green, why is the station being powered by diesel? And what's funnier is the higher the demand is for EVs, the higher the demand gets for coal. because you got to power these stations some kind of way. You can't just plug your plug into the wall and magically have your energy, your power appear. Okay, your power doesn't just come from nowhere. You got to have energy. How you going to? Coal, usually nuclear, hydro, maybe a little bit of solar, maybe solar and wind. That's like minuscule when you're talking about your actual energy sources. Generating power, solar and wind are not very efficient. If you cover the entire Sahara Desert, maybe, and also they get very hot. There's environmental challenges because if you have a sea of solar panels, they're going to get very hot, and that hot air is going to impact the weather. It's going to impact the environment. These big wind turbines, especially the offshore wind turbines, they're humongous. I'm talking about football field size blades, big, big, big wind turbines. They're going to impact the aquatic life. How could these things not impact aquatic life? You got these blades the size of football fields in the water, basically, on top of the water. The vibration, the noise, the whales are going crazy. They're beaching themselves. I saw a beached whale on the boardwalk, basically, in Virginia Beach a while back. I'm like, I have never in my life ever seen something like that in Virginia Beach. And I grew up on the beach. I'm a beach boy, but I never in my life, a beach whale? We had a couple of sharks maybe here and there, randomly, but not often. A whale? Is something going on with what they're doing. These things, they talk about, climate change, all this, that, and the third, but they don't talk about the things that they do to try and prevent climate change that are actually causing negative patterns in behavior of the weather. They don't talk about that too much. Hold on. Kerry Cree says people buying 1940s homes, 1960s homes. The electrical usually has to be entirely updated and grounded, or they install a separate power meter, maybe in a detached garage. Yeah, these old homes are not built for modern living at all. At all. Not in the least bit. When I was first trying to find a house out here, when I first moved here, like a house for rent, I was looking at some older homes for rent. And this house was so old, you could tell it was old. I mean, they kept it in pretty good condition. It wasn't like falling apart, but you could tell it was a house flip, number one. This dude in there looking like, I don't know what he looked like. He looked like the kind of guy that, he looked like he was a Starbucks barista like 2 years ago, but he's like 38 right now. You understand what I'm saying? He had that kind of vibe going on. He was in there polishing brass. It's like, bro, come on. Like, why do that? The washer and dryer are in a separate building outside the house. And we're talking about a small house, like 1,000 square foot, but the washer and dryer are in a kind of attached shed. Probably because you got to get that 240 in there, and there was no space for that in the original home. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the original house did not have space for the 240, the 240 volt connection to plug up your dryer. So old homes do have those kind of problems for sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really an old home kind of guy. If I was to buy an old home, I had to fix it up. If I was to buy an old home, I would just tear it down to the studs and rebuild it. Yeah, I'll give me newer construction. Anything within the past 10 to 15 years, but going back to the days of the olden days, the 40s, nah, I can't do nothing with it. 80 years old, 100 years old for a house, nah. Old quality brick homes can be good, yeah. They can be good quality. They can be nice and sturdy. Sturdy as far as shelter, but your modern amenities, they're going to be lacking. It's not really going to be what you want. All right, we got quite a few things to get to here. So O'Keefe Media Group are recruiting. I'm not showing you an ad. Well, it's not an ad for me. Maybe it is for them. But O'Keefe Media Group, y'all know about James O'Keefe. He was with Project Veritas, had a little bit of drama. So now he has his own thing, OMG, O'Keefe Media Group. So hold on, let me see what I'm looking at. Yeah, O'Keefe Media Group. So he's recruiting. Hey, you want to go out there and do some investigative journalism? Well, here's your chance. And I think what you're seeing right here is a busted human trafficking operation. They got individuals in these little full wraps and whatnot.
When they find women and children.
Look at all this. So maybe they were found and then rescued and they put the blankets on them. That's kind of what it looks like.
And they're saying, oh my God, I was chained in a basement for the last 5 years. I don't know what happened. I went to CBP, they took me, and then boom.
I found out that GSA had awarded a contract to a company to transport unaccompanied minors.
Children get in trafficked every day. We don't take their biographical info. Where are those children going?
The number one goal of FEMA is to instill equity in emergency management. It's not to save lives. There are still people that are missing.
See them? There's our undercover journalists, brave citizen journalists trying to expose human trafficking.
It recorded everything of the cartel. They're talking about us. They're talking about shipping migrants. It's all on audio. We got everything.
Every single agent knows deep in his heart what's going on is wrong.
Fire me. Maybe after this they will.
You're hungry, you're tired, add in cartel, add in kids being trafficked.
The cars are creeping on us. There's a third car over there now.
We've been recording for 16 hours. We got it.
All right, so there we go. So they said they're now hiring producers, videographers, and editors. All right, and I would presume they're also going to be hiring some of the undercovers, but they don't want you to apply right here. They want you to do that on the down low. So yeah, shout out to Project Veritas. Shout out to Citizen Journalism Foundation. All right, they're doing some really good work over there. Not Project Veritas, pardon me. O'Keefe Media Group. And shout out Project Veritas as well. If they're still doing their thing, I don't want it to be that kind of thing where I just try to hate on them. But that kind of thing is needed because we have so much going on in this country, and the government, they don't always do a good job at being able to expose and hold anyone accountable. Oftentimes, I ain't gonna say oftentimes, they do. There are quite a few good people in law enforcement, the federales, there's some good people, but I think as American citizens, we can do more independently to help them out rather than just relying upon them completely to handle all this stuff for us. We can do our own work as citizens. So yeah, shout out to James O'Keefe for doing the Lord's work. All righty. Now, you got some protesters out here, and the things that the protesters say. Here's my question. If one of us, a conservative person, went out to the world and said things like this, what would the response be? Let's watch.
Get this man out of here now. But if that doesn't happen, and we're not promoting it for 1 second, but if that doesn't happen, there will be violence. Yes. And these people had the opportunity to stop it. And they didn't. Get this.
Okay, so here's my question. You say you don't want to promote it, but then you say something about it. You are saying provocative things that could get people riled up to go out there and want to commit some violence. They want to go out here and just do whatever. But this is par for the course. You see the vulgar language on the t-shirt. These people are all the same. And it is 100%, I would say almost 100% white, one race. And then they're the same ones talk about racism. Oh, you guys are racist. You guys hate black people. But where you guys, if you were any whiter, it'd be Sweden. It'd be somewhere like the coldest place, Russia, Moscow. That's what it looks like right there. But we're the racist ones. We hate black people, like Don Lemon said, right? Make it make sense. All right, now I have an update about Lil Yachty. So you probably already seen this video. I know I showed it before. I did a video on it, but I'm gonna show it to you one more time because there's an update. If you don't know, Lil Yachty, he's a rapper, like 27 years old, young guy. He recently said that Black Lives Matter is a scam, which is a thing that I thought that we all knew, but apparently not everyone did because what he said has gone viral. Black Lives Matter has responded. Oh, yes, they did respond. Okay, let's go ahead and watch this, and then we're going to get through the response.
You spent $100,000 on a trip to Disney once. How much have you spent on charitable causes this year? Let's start cooking these pancakes.
This year technically just started, so So this year, I mean, like, it's hard to.
What about last year?
Well, last year, you know, it's hard to gauge.
All right. So what about the year before last year?
Oh, well, that year, that's a good year. Yeah, it's just blurry. I be doing so much.
BLM? Since you want to be so black power?
BLM is a scam.
Clip that. Send it to the fucking news.
BLM was literally a scam. They had bought mansions, and you probably wouldn't know anything about it because you don't care about black people. You don't follow black
I do care about black people. Look at my chocolate. You're mad.
It's a disguise.
You're mad. I think I'm literally the most pro-black person in this room.
Because you have an all-white staff?
They're not white. They're POC.
How gay.
Thank you. But don't laugh.
I do have a gay, so I also am
gay?
Hilarious. The funniest part about that is when he said, I too have a gay. That was hilarious. Shout out to the young guys who understand how big of a scam Black Lives Matter is. But again, that's a video that I showed you before, but the reason why I played it is because we need some context here. Okay, we need some context. Black Lives Matter has responded. So, Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation issued a statement in response to Lil Yachty, telling him to stop drinking the white supremacist ideology Kool-Aid after he labeled the organization a scam. Quote, it's clear Lil Yachty has been drinking the white supremacist ideology Kool-Aid. His comments are wrong. They're misinformed, unoriginal, and crafted to please the same people who profit from black suffering. Whoa, 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 whoa. Black Lives Matter. You got some nerve trying to point the finger at others from profiting from black suffering. You guys raised millions on the dead body of George Floyd. Millions. You guys created a whole real estate empire on the back of a dead black man. That's what you did. Black Lives Matter from the beginning has benefited from black men being dead. And you know what? If you're not a dead black man or a gay black man, they don't even really care. They don't care. Why? Because they can't get money with you or off you. So who cares? Heterosexual, normal black men, which 99.999% of us, they're actually kind of anti-black male. They actually hate us. They'd rather we see us dead or ineffective as far as being able to produce children. That's crazy. Really? They said that for, hold on, let's go back. Okay, let's continue. The real scam in Black Lives Matter, it is watching black artists with massive platforms recycle the same tire attacks on black movements while ignoring the actual systems killing us. Black Lives Matter has supported black families who have lost loved ones to police violence. We have built programs. You've built mansions. Added that part right there. They funded mutual aid and fought in courtrooms and on the streets to protect our people. BLM was never a scam. Selling out your people for clout is. My people? Who are my people? Not these people. Not BLM. Okay. Not BLM at all. Black lesbian Marxists. I'm not friends with black lesbian Marxists. I'm friends with normal black people, not black lesbian Marxists. I'm friends with normies, regulars, not the irregulars. I don't care what color you are. If you're irregular, you're out of there. Okay, I'm not a fan of the irregular people. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. I'm just not really with it. So that was the response from Black Lives Matter. What do y'all think? Was that a good response? Did you think that? Did you agree with Black Lives Matter on that response? Because I know I didn't. I know that I did not. Okay. Now, Tesla. Oh my goodness. Tesla. I told y'all, these people on the left, they're crazy. They are totally nuts. I get it. You guys, not you guys, but the left, I get it. The left does not like Elon. They don't like what's happening with Elon and Trump and whatnot. But is this a response to just set vehicles on fire? Is that what we're going to do? This is in Las Vegas. A lot of you terrorists, really, because that's what they are. They're terrorists. I mean, at a certain point, when do we get to call these leftist protesters terrorists? Because this right here is not a protest. Last time I checked, firebombing a dealership is not a protest. That's called vandalism. That's called arson. That's called a crime. You can't get locked up for simple protesting. If you firebomb a dealership, now we're talking about something you get locked up for. That's not very peaceful. It's not a protest. It is a criminal offense. It's called terrorism. Because if this was overseas, Middle East somewhere, it'd be insurgents. Allahu Akbar, it'd be that. But over here, they want to call them protesters. That's the mainstream media allowing it to go forward because they give them the excuse to go out here and just do whatever they want. And they treat them with kid gloves. So that incentivizes them to do it some more. That's the whole game that's being played right here. So we got quite a few of these. Hold on. Now, wait a minute. The caption right here says protesters, quote unquote, terrorists in Montreal vandalized a Tesla dealership because of the climate crisis. Okay, so you want to vandalize a dealership because of the climate crisis? Make it make sense. Like, okay, if Tesla is supposed to be the vehicle of the future, it's green, it's friendly to the environment, because you guys say we cannot have any more internal combustion engine vehicles because of the pollution. Oh, you hate the earth, ABL, got your gas guzzler, you throwing this dirt in the air. Okay, so here's an American company, the most profitable company, the most profitable car company on planet Earth, or at least it's worth the most. Okay, an American car company employing American citizens, and they make electric vehicles. You got a problem with that, and you're going to protest them because of the climate? Make it make sense. I thought the EVs would solve some issues with the climate. Let's watch some of this. Let's turn the sound on.
Dernière génération au Canada, un collectif de gens ordinaires qui demande à ce que le gouvernement canadien instaure un comité de protection face aux désastres climatiques pour protéger la population canadienne des dangers de la crise climatique. Nous avons pris action aujourd'hui parce que nous ne pouvons plus supporter de voir le profit prendre priorité sur la vie. Les milliardaires et les ultra riches sont en train de détruire notre futur pour leur propre gain.
Okay, you know what? Check it out. The French, again, I'm not trying to hear no French. I don't care if you French Canadian, a French African, a French Frenchman. I don't want to hear no French. No parlez-vous français. After that dude talking about some, Statue of Liberty, return it to us. Man, look, I ain't giving you nothing back. Okay, and I'm not trying to hear no French. And a Canadian Frenchman, man, please, y'all can just shut up. Y'all are completely irrelevant. And if you in the chat, not you. I'm talking about your countrymen. Look at what these guys got on, man. Look, the last generation. They really believe what AOC said, like we got 12 years left. They really believe that. They think that they're about to die pretty soon. Like Y2K. We were convinced that Y2K came along and we were going to die if the computer could not update itself to say that it was the year 2000 without crashing. Same thing going on here. Yeah, Quebecois. Like, I'm not trying to hear no Canadian French, man, please. I'm not trying to hear from the French in France, let alone a Canadian, a off-brand, a Temu French guy. I ain't trying to hear that at all. But anyway, and these are some California boomers protesting Elon. Some pretty interesting signs in the crowd. Okay, interesting signs. Swastikas. You see this? Yeah, and again, as a pattern has been proven to be accurate, the crowd is not very diverse at all. Okay, no sound in the video here, but you can see they're right in front of a Tesla storefront. It says, hold on, buy EVs, but not these swastikas. So I got to buy a certain brand of EV. How California is that? You have an iPhone, but you got the old iPhone. Don't show that in public. You got to get this brand new iPhone. Why? Get this brand new iPhone. Don't have that old one. Get this brand new EV. Don't have that old one. Very California. That's why I hate California. Okay, it says bad Doge, silences complicity, stop Musk, Trump coup. Hold on, one more over there. It says no to Musk, Trump, kings, Nazis, oligarchs, Doge bags. Very, very diverse crowd. I didn't vote for this. Did you? That's what the sign says. Musk sucks. All righty. I'm seeing swastikas. I'm seeing all that kind of stuff. I've not seen so many whites with swastikas since 1940-something Germany. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? We're kind of going backward in time, ain't we? I thought that they were progressive and they wanted to go forward. But if that's the case, I can't tell. All right. Fire Elon Musk. Stop the oligarchs or broligarchs. We got new little terms right now. All this stuff right here, I blame on the media. They did not even know what the word oligarch meant before they saw it on MSNBC. And they probably still don't know. Hey, what does oligarch mean? What's that? I don't know what that is. Well, you had it on your sign. Oh, I forgot. It was just a cool sign to put out. Oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, shout out to the Elon protesters. Also, here's GSU. This is Atlanta, right? Now, I think they have someone dressed like Trump and maybe Elon. Matter of fact, hold on. I can't even really describe it. I got to show you. Now, we got music, of course. I ain't trying to have them give me a copyright. But someone is wearing, look, okay, GSU, what's really happening here? There's so much in this picture, I don't know what's going on. First, we have someone in a wheelchair of sorts, and they're fat, and they have on some kind of mask, helmet type kerfuffle. It's like a football face mask with no football helmet. How they did that, I don't know. And it looks like they got a Trump kind of looking person and maybe an Elon person attached to the wheelchair by a leash, and they're walking behind the fat person. They're crawling behind and being tugged lightly by the leashes that they have on their neck, attached to the wheelchair. Again, GSU. Okay, GSU. Are the kids okay? Are they okay? Are the kids okay? I hope you guys are, because that right there, I don't know what's happening. Okay, now we got a little bit of a street interview with some of the so-called protesters. Now, will we get some answers? Are we going to get a solid response? Hey, Miss Lady, you're like 1,000 years old. Why are you out here protesting today? Let's see what we get as far as a response, shall we?
Can I ask, do you work for the government?
No.
You don't? But you have a job, right? What did you do last week at work?
I taught classes.
Taught classes?
Yeah.
So you did something, you accomplished something meaningful, right?
Yes.
So if government workers don't accomplish something meaningful for the taxpayer?
But that's bullshit, because they do. They do.
Some of them don't.
They all.
What's a fine? The president.
An ROI. Do you think that the government needs to exist within its means?
Here. We don't want Nazis here. We don't want Nazis here.
Should the government?
We don't want Nazis here.
Okay.
And nice
You're
shoes.
trying to get the narrative,
what you say.
guys. Trying to get the narrative. You're just doing a narrative.
Get out of here.
What's
Just
your
standing
5
here.
points?
Can I ask, do you work for the government?
Okay, so I thought that might be a little bit intellectual. Okay, there'd be some answers, a little bit of back and forth, good faith conversation, but I don't think that's what happened. I think that she just screeched at him the whole time, and then the guy said, hey, you got nice shoes. Okay, so not very, they're out there. They're out there protesting. They got signs and everything else, but when you actually talk to them, look, you got sign right there in his hand. When you actually talk to them, they don't have anything for you. They're full of rage. They're full of anger. And they're quite frankly confused. they don't know why they're out there. So if you ask them, hey, what's going on? Why are you out here? All they're going to have is the anger inside at you. That's all they're going to have for you. And that's pretty much that on that. All right. Now, a Cybertruck in the wild, and well, not in the wild, it's parked. But he has some interesting stickers on the back of the Cybertruck. Okay. First, the no Elon sticker. And then the other one says, I drive this in shame now. Really? For real? Look, I would never put that on my car. I'm not going to put some shaming language against myself on my own property. This is my property. Maybe the objective is he's not trying to get his car defaced or whatever. But you know what? Maybe try not living in California and it might not happen to you. Just maybe, because out here, ain't nobody going to do that to you. I drive this in shame. No way. No way, Jose. I'm driving my car. I don't care. Ain't no shame. I'm so sorry. I'm driving the Tesla. I'm driving it in shame, man. Please. Never would I ever. How about y'all? Would you put that in your car? Y'all let me know. Would you put, I'm so ashamed. I'm so sorry. Would you put that on your car and drive it around? Man, please. You might as well put a leash on your own neck and crawl on the ground like they had the last dude. Do that. All right. So here's a young lady. Well, not quite young lady. But she thought she was king a Tesla, but it was a Rivian. Okay. And of course, it's one of us, unfortunately. It's somebody from the community. Okay, let's just play up to the stereotype. Not even a key in the right kind of car. It's a Rivian. All right, that is not a Tesla. So now we're just going to key up random electric looking cars. If a car looks kind of fancy, we're going to key that. Is that what we do? And it wasn't even a Tesla. It was a poor, innocent Rivian. Lady, just get in your car and go home. Why even do that? You're watching too much TV. To anyone who has that kind of thought in their mind, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to key up any car that looks Tesla-y. If that's your thought process, what I want you to do is go home, go to bed, and try again the next day to live life as a regular adult without doing these ridiculous criminal activities. That's my advice to you if that thought process is in your mind percolating right now. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go key that car. It looks high tech. Let me key it. Man, I'll tell you, these people, man, what are we going to do with these people that don't know anything? Okay. And here's another one. Now, this lady actually keyed the Tesla. Okay. So I guess congratulations for keying the correct car. But here we go again on camera, of course. Look, I can see your whole outfit, man. Look, I see you from head to toe. I'm seeing the sunglasses, the little cardigan sweater, dress shirt combination, the mom jeans, the shoes, your bag. I could see everything. I might as well see inside your wallet and know where you live at, because I send it to the police. They're going to get you. They're going to pull up to your job at the front desk and take you away from the desk and throw you in the penitentiary. Okay, so here we go. Key in the car on camera. They don't know anything. They think they got it all figured out, but they don't. Just get in your car and go home, but they can't do that. All right, look. Here she is. Okay, like, what is that going to do? What are you even doing? Got the mask in the hand. Just get in your car and go home. Like, what are we even doing? Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen in your neck of the woods Teslas get vandalized? I've not seen that around here. I've seen Cybertrucks. I've seen some nice Cybertrucks. I've seen they look nice on the road. I ain't gonna say they look nice. I think my truck is the most handsome on the road. My F-150 trimmer, black on black. Oh, I love it. But a Cybertruck, it looks different on the road. especially with the wraps on it and little options. It looks different, but to me, it's kind of impractical. It's a big toaster, but it looks different. I give him that. One thing that Elon can do is innovate. I think with a few iterations, you can get a really nice truck. But right now, the way it is, if you can make the Cybertruck with the advanced features and the more user-friendly design, then I'm with it. Like today, I went to the dump, right? I have things in the back of my truck that I know would not really fit properly in a Cybertruck, and I know I couldn't really maneuver around a dump the way I want to in a Cybertruck. So yeah, what we need is a bit of a tweak on the design, Elon. Cybertruck 2.0, let me get that and see what it's hitting on. Yeah, the bed is very impractical. Mad 450, it built for itself for real. All right, so Scott Jennings, we're talking about the Tesla vehicles. And of course, what they want to do on CNN, aside from Scott Jennings, is make excuses for the Teslas being firebombed and whatnot. Let's see what he says here.
The other night, Donald Trump said these are domestic terrorists. Everybody laughed about it and scoffed at it. That video looks like terrorism to me. I mean, it's obviously an organized, coordinated effort, however people are communicating with each other to do this to people.
Look at this. They got incidents in Seattle, Kansas City, Buffalo Grove, where's that? Like Chicago, Vegas, what's that? Like Colorado, all over the place. Like the whole country, all over the country.
Around the country who chose to buy a Tesla at some point in the past, many of whom I'm sure are Democrats who bought them in the first place, all because their entire political worldview is ruled by their emotions. And that's the American left right now. It is one angry mob after another willing to take things into their own hands, up to and including keying, firebombing, and otherwise vandalizing cars and car dealerships and charging stations. It's outrageous. It is terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
There we go. And you saw the lady. Look at her face. Like, lady, why make that face? What he's saying here is correct. Why make that face? Because you don't like Elon? So because you don't like Elon, lady with the scrunched up face, you're willing to ignore outright terrorism, straight up criminal behavior. It reminds me of the whole thing with the migrant crisis. You have crime, violence, madness, drugs, guns, all of that all over the country as a result of the migrants. But because you are with Team Biden, with Democrats, you refuse to acknowledge it. Meanwhile, your constituents are screaming at you, please help us. We're being destroyed. We're being overwhelmed by the migrants, but you don't want to help. And all you do is give this face, and you wonder why you did not win in 2024. It does not take a rocket scientist to figure it out. I promise it doesn't, because that face right there, when someone says, hey, the migrants, they're a problem, they're causing crime, violence, death, destruction. When we say that and you give that as a return, don't worry about it. All right. Whoever you vote for, ma'am, I'm not going to vote for. That's how that works. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. So here's Elon. Elon did an interview on Fox, and he was there for quite a while. And one piece of it, he was talking about all of what's happening. Let's play this.
You know, the average American makes $66,000 a year. We're close to $40,000 in debt. You said to me in our last interview, we won't have a country unless we fix it now. Can you explain why this is so important that we identify all this waste?
Yes, the government the government waste and fraud is so high that it's causing a $2 trillion annual deficit. So that's $2,000 billion of waste and fraud that's happening, and the cost of our debt has gotten so high that just the interest payments on the debt exceed the entire military budget, and it was just growing out of control. So the country was going bankrupt. It's just, a country is no different from a person. If a country overspends and doesn't spend wisely, just like a person, a country will go bankrupt. So the reason I'm here is because I'm very worried about America going bankrupt due to the corruption and waste. And if we don't do something about it, the ship of America is going to sink. And we're all on that ship. And this may be a message to, people out there who have, are wealthy, have a lot of means, or control companies. It's like, just remember, we're all in ship of America here. Your company is not going to exist if the ship of America sinks. And we should do everything we possibly can to ensure that America is strong for far into the future.
And for
we're all
doing that,
Exactly. Right on point. So when people hear Elon talk, how can they really be against what he is trying to do? He's trying to help. And really, if you got a genius like that on your team and he has your best interests at heart, why would anybody be against that? You're only going to be against it if you don't want what he's trying to actually offer. And what he's offering is assistance with getting this country back on track financially. If you don't want us to get back on track, if you want us to go bankrupt, then of course you're going to be against them. So part of me is thinking, you know what, maybe they want to crash the country. They want to crash everything, go bankrupt, and loot the country on the way out. They want that. Elon wants to stop it, so they want to stop him. That's all I could really figure out because I don't see anything else. And of course, he's linked to Trump. So anyone who wants to help Trump is seen as a bad guy. Even if they have the best intentions and they're doing things to help the American people, they don't want them to succeed. So my question would be, why would anybody vote for them if they don't want you to succeed? Out of spite because they hate Trump and Elon and everybody else? Or because they want us to fail so they can benefit from the failure? So yeah, shout out to Elon. And thank you, Elon, for saving the astronauts. We'll get to that in a minute. But here's Jimmy Kimmel on the Tesla attacks. All right. I've not watched TV in years. So these guys, I couldn't care less, but people do watch them, so I'll play it.
Vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize. Don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so...
See what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, it encourages it. So if we're going to investigate who's doing this, if it's organized or whatnot, you also got to hold people like this accountable because you are encouraging it. You're going on TV, you got a big audience, you got to be responsible. You can't go out there and make jokes about the vandalization because it's going to continue. You're going to make them do it more. You're giving them battery in their back to go out and do it more. You are inspiring terrorists to go out there and commit terrorist activities. All right, let's keep on going here. All right, and we got more of these. Look at that face right there. Look at that face. That's who is that? That's Anna Navarro. The Ozempic face is crazy, but anyway, let's keep on going here.
People are actually excited. NBC News on Meet the Press, they reported their polling found the highest level of enthusiasm in the country going in the right direction since 2004. 20 years. So President Trump is doing exactly what he campaigned on. That's why 76% of people said, according to CBS polling, agreed with his State of the Union speech, which included a lot of independents and a lot of Democrats who were watching that speech.
Carrie.
That is why...
Carrie, my namesake, Carrie.
Yes, my fellow Carrie.
you do know what you're saying is incorrect. I don't care about the polling.
Talk to NBC.
This sounds like anybody that tried to have a discussion or disagreement or whatever, and they don't really have anything. They say, "Oh, well, you know what you're saying is wrong. You're wrong." But if you ask them to say, "Why am I wrong? What did I get wrong?" If you ask them to expound, they're not going to have anything. Carrie Champion, I hate. Pretty lady, but I don't like her.
America, I don't care what NBC is saying. I can talk to the people on the streets. Are you on the streets? Are you talking
Absolutely,
to people in real life situations who have everyday jobs who are saying they're unhappy? You know very well.
Are you saying CNN polling is wrong?
No. What I'm saying is, don't do me. Don't try me today, Scotty.
We put out a CNN poll. Are you saying our polling is wrong?
No, what I'm saying to you is that by and large, people are not happy.
No, they're very happy. They're unhappy with Democrats.
You're happy.
They're happy with Trump.
You're happy. Democrats aren't happy. We're not happy with Democrats.
Let me try to sort this out real quick before we have to go to...
You know what? I'm going to defend her a little bit here. I'm going to defend her a teeny bit. what she's saying is actually partially right. She's not happy. Her friends ain't happy. A lot of Democrats, a lot of stone cold stomp down leftists are not happy, but we got to ask ourselves, what piece of the pie are these people? How many Democrats are like her in this country? A percentage. What? 30% at most? And shout out to Scott. That's a great freeze frame. Scott, you're doing a great job, bro. You got your contract. Hold on. Hey, Scott got a big contract, getting that money because you earned it, bro. And that smile right there, that's the man that says, you know why I earn my money? She can't do nothing with me. None of these morons, tomato cans on this panel could do anything with me. I'm the man. I like the confidence, Scott. Shout out to Scott Jennings. Great dude over on CNN. But I agree. Yeah, she's not happy. Her friends ain't happy. Okay, you have an unhappy bunch of people you're around. You're just unhappy people, but the majority of Americans like what's going on. Y'all don't on the left. That's fine. That's totally fine. I feel like Scott Jennings right here. That's my face right there. Like, that's how I feel. Hey, and the majority of us regular people, whether we identify as Republican or not, we like the way things are going. Okay. So yeah, shout out to Carrie Champion. Oh, that jawline ain't nothing but makeup. That's contour makeup. That's a trick they do. So yeah, shout out Carrie Champion and shout out Scott Jennings. Now, Eddie Griffin, a great comedian. He really broke down this whole Elon and the mainstream media and who's really doing what to who and when and where. This is a great video. Again, shout out to the comedian Eddie Griffin. This is him right here talking. Check it out.
How the f*** is he stealing? Why would he steal? He the richest man on earth. He gonna steal your tax dollars? Get the f*** out of here. You know how stupid y'all motherfuckers sound? Elon steals. Y'all steal. Your bank account don't match what we pay you as a government official. Why is that? You only getting paid $270,000 a goddamn year, and your bank account is in the millions? How is that, Nancy Pelosi? How the f*** you worth $290 million? Is it called insider trading? Because you know the deal was going down before it went down because you had to sign the shit into law? Is that how it's played? How the f*** y'all call yourself human? How the f*** you couldn't stand up and applaud for a 13-year-old kid who's fighting cancer to this day, still whooping cancer's ass, and Trump made him an honorary Secret Service because that's the boy's dream. But y'all couldn't even stand up for that because y'all some straight up told mother. F*** you all. I wasn't born with a jack stamped on my motherfucking head. I voted Republican, and I think I did the right goddamn thing. I know I did the right goddamn thing. And y'all probably tricked some more thinking that you have to vote Democrat if you're black. We not a monolith, motherfucker. I think for my motherfucking self, and I'm sure there's other black people in the United States of America that think for their motherfucking selves. You can pay all the motherfucking so-called black leaders to try to...
Hey, hold on. Hey. He was going in and they cut him off. He was going in. Hey, that was great. Again, Eddie Griffin is his name if you don't know. Great comedian, a legend in the game, been around for forever. All right. So yeah, that was fantastic. That was great. But yeah, I mean, raises a great question. We always ask about that. It's like, okay, how do you make $200,000 a year, but you're worth $200 million? How do you make a salary as a president of $450,000, Barack Obama, but you have houses in Hawaii, houses in Martha's Vineyard, houses in Chicago? You got this and that and the third. All this. How do you do that? Insider trading. How are you going to have stocks, but you're a lawmaker and the laws you write are thousands of pages long, and in those thousands of pages, it's things that will directly impact the stock market, and you know about it before it happens, so you're able to trade based on that knowledge. How was that not considered insider trading? Make it make sense. What he said right there was nothing but the facts. Nothing but the facts. So yeah, shout out Eddie Griffin. Right on point. Right on point. So Pam Bondi says, yo, we're going to get the people that attack these Teslas the dealerships and whatnot, and we're going to hold them accountable. Check it out.
Targeting Tesla owners, they're targeting Tesla dealerships, they're targeting Elon Musk, who is out there trying to save our country, and it will not be tolerated. We are coming after you. We will find you. And if you are an organized group who is funding this, we're going to find you too. You better look out and you better stop it.
There we go. So, hey, what I want to see, you know what I want to see? If there's an organized group behind the whole Tesla situation, Gitmo is cool, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, and Gitmo. But where I really want them to go is at El Salvador. Hey, go to El Salvador. Go to that one where they got the MS-13. Go there. You be huddled up like this on the ground. Okay, you be backside, front side to backside, if you catch my drift. I ain't going to say the other one. But front side to backside. That's going to be y'all in El Salvador. You keep messing around. That's what I want to see. So, yeah, shout out Pam Bondi. Right on point. All right. Hold on. Somebody says, resign Israel first, AG. Israel is such a non-topic. People talk about Israel this, Israel that, and nobody has any idea of what they're going to do after they identify. Okay, this person is Jewish. That person is Israeli. They got a tie to Israel. Okay, now what? What's the next step beyond that identification? Where do we go from here? What's the next step? I've always said the Jews are the white man's white man. The white man has nobody to blame. The black man, everybody else, will say, oh, it's the white man's fault. The white man, well, who am I going to blame? Let's pick an ethnic group of white people and blame them. Let's pick an ethnic group of whites and blame them. Let's blame Benjamin Netanyahu from Poland. This dude is Polish, but he's Jewish. Let's make it different. Black folks really don't see whites as different. Like most of y'all don't see blacks as different if you're not black. All you're going to see is African and black. You're not going to see East African, West African, South African, the northern people, African American, biracial. You see black, white. But among white, you see German, Irish, Italian. We don't really get that kind of benefit. And then among the white groups, you pick out one of the groups and pick on them because they got the money under control. But if y'all had the money under control, we would all be poor. And can I say that? If y'all had the money under control, we all be poor. We be in Siberia making Big Rocks, Little Rocks of Siberia. If you want to be totally independent, okay, go to Russia. Go with Vladimir Putin and see how that North Korea, Russia, that kind of environment. Do that. That's what I say. All right. But yeah. Also, somebody said South American blacks. Yeah, the Brazilians, the Islanders. It's not the same, but if you black, you black. Among people who are not black. But if you're black, we see the differences. If you're white, then there's differences among that y'all see. But anyway, shout out to you, whatever color you are, black, white, Puerto Rican, Candy Stripe. You could be Jewish. You could be Austrian. You could be whatever it is. All right. So look, going back to some important news here. Elon was able to rescue, well, not Elon himself specifically, but his company, SpaceX, was able to lend NASA the vehicle that went and rescued these astronauts from space. So if you guys don't know the whole backstory, they were supposed to be up in space for 8 months. Just 8 months. Pardon me, not 8 months, 8 days. They were supposed to be in space for 8 days. The Boeing Starliner comes to get them, the vehicle comes to get them, but as the Starliner approaches the ISS, International Space Station, it glitches. So it couldn't board anybody. It had to come back basically empty-handed, no passengers. Now, at a certain point, the decision was made to allow the SpaceX vehicle to go get him. But what took 9 months, though? 9.5 months. What probably happened is Elon offered to go get him while Joe Biden was still the president. His offer was declined. Why? Probably because it'll give Elon the boost. And you're going to have Joe Biden thank Elon Musk for rescuing American astronauts. So rather than getting them months ago when it was first offered, let's wait till after the election and then have Trump do it. So they got caught up in political stuff. 9 months in space after it was supposed to be an 8-day trip. Let's watch.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for doing this. So my question relates to Elon Musk has said that he made the offer to bring you guys back earlier and that it was denied. My first question is that true? And if so, what would that have looked like? Was he offering to make another flight, push seats on another flight? Could you give us some background there?
I can only say that Mr. Musk, what he says is absolutely factual. We have no information on that, though, whatsoever. What was offered, what was not offered, who it was offered to, how that process went. That's information that we simply don't have. So I believe him. I don't know all those details, and I don't think any of us really can give you the answer that you would be hoping for.
So it says it right there. It's like, look, the offer was made and it was declined. Why was the offer refused? If the offer was made to say, hey, you're going to go get him in a SpaceX vehicle, why was that offer declined? I think it's because of some political stuff. You didn't want to give Elon the win. You didn't want to do that. Okay, that's what happened here. Totally nuts. All right.
And we're going.
So now we fast forward to now we have the astronauts and the one cosmonaut. So 3 American astronauts, 1 Russian cosmonaut, all being rescued on the Boeing, not Boeing, on the SpaceX vehicle.
Going to stand by for splashdown located in the Gulf of America off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
And Elon saves the day. Shout out to Elon. Shout out to SpaceX. Shout out to NASA. Everybody that was involved. I was reading articles about this. I was reading New York Times or one of these rags. And then when they were describing the splash, and they said they splashed off the coast of Florida. It's like off the coast of Florida, you can't say Gulf of America. So they don't want to say Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico because that'd be wrong. Off the coast of Florida. No, they splashed down in the Gulf of America. They cannot bring themselves to just, they want to rebel at every level. They're like little kids. Okay, go to bed. I don't want to go to wash your hands. I don't wash. It's like you're not even doing things that are going to be good for you. Why? You just want to rebel. They're like little kids. A lot of these people that run institutions, they're like children still mentally. They've not really grown up yet. The whole thing about, the frontal lobe, that's BS. How about just being parented right and becoming an adult? So you're not still a child at 35. But anyway, so look, dolphins greeted the SpaceX vehicle after it dropped down. I mean, how beautiful of a scene. The Gulf of America. We got dolphins. We got rescue astronauts. This is like a movie. You could not write this any better. Okay. The dolphins are like, hey, man, welcome back. Y'all made it. Dolphins are very smart, too. They know exactly what's going on. They know it's cameras and everything around. They know exactly what's happening. They came out for the show. The dolphins are Trump supporters. Let's let them vote rather than the illegal aliens. Let's let the dolphins vote. Okay, dolphins for Trump, MAGA dolphins. That's what's going on right now. So yeah, shout out to the dolphins and shout out to the astronauts being rescued. You cannot make that up right there in that water. Yeah, dolphins are very smart. Very, very smart. And orcas are also dolphins. And I think they're a tad bit more aggressive. They black, they a little more aggressive. I'm playing. But they are attacking a lot of those boats. That's a whole different story. Shout out to the orcas and the regular dolphins too. All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, look, remember, y'all know Alec Baldwin, the shooter of all shooters, okay, hitman, John Wick. He is at an event with his wife, Hillary. Remember Hillary, or pardon me, Hilaria? Y'all remember her? How you say cucumber? Hold on, I got to find that video. So Hillary, aka Hilaria, is a white woman from Boston who pretends to be Latina for some reason. I'm not quite sure why she does this, but she pretends to be Latina. And they went to an event. I'm going to play the old clip of her asking how to say cucumber. Like she don't know English. Like she didn't grow up in Boston with her white parents knowing English as a first language. Let's watch this right quick.
We have very few ingredients. We have tomatoes. We have how do you say it? Cucumber. Cucumbers. We have
how you say it in English? You know how to say cucumber in English. Come on, man. How you say it in English? Hilaria, aka Hillary. Come on, let's cut it out. This is like Pocahontas on steroids. All right, but let's go back to what I wanted to show you guys. That's a context right there. That's who that is. Hilaria Baldwin, aka Hillary. Here is them recently.
The Hilaria show.
No, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
I'm sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No, I mean I think this is a really raw show, and it's very real, and
Hey, he's like, I wish I got a twofer that day. Hey, that day, if you was like right behind her, we could have made it a 2-for-1. Okay, 2 birds, 1 stone. That's what he's thinking right now. Now, I'm just joking. Anybody that want to try to flag me. But I know in his mind thinking, you know what? That day should have been a 2-for, a 2-for-1. Okay, you buy one, get one half off. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Because that right there is crazy. You getting shushed on the red carpet and you're Alec Baldwin. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to her. The fake Hispanic lady, Hilaria, aka Hillary. The disrespect is crazy. And then the fake Spanglish. Bro, I mean, you know what? Can I say something right quick? I'm going to say this. Although Alec didn't go to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little, he might be suffering a worse penalty by being with her. I mean, good grief. If that was me, I'd be like, man, can I find the tallest building and just take a dive? I believe I can fly from the Empire State Building on that one. My. So look, he did get punished. He really did. Okay. Shout out to Alec, bro. I don't know how you do it, man. But anyway, so McDonald's in Brooklyn has banned unsupervised teens. All right. And we know when they say that, we know what they mean. We know who they don't want in the McDonald's by themselves. Acting the fool, carrying on. All right, let's watch.
They make a mess. They're talking about drills and fighting, and I don't approve of that.
There's no disputing the reason why 2 of the more popular businesses in this Flatbush, Brooklyn neighborhood are banning teens 18 and younger who are not accompanied by an adult. Last month, we told you about the McDonald's on Flatbush Avenue, which did just that during after-school hours, following the lead of the Target store right around the corner, which implemented a similar ban around the clock.
I was assaulted in this Target right here. These children nowadays, they're doing smoking and they're attacking people. They're, stealing things and going in pockets and cutting pocketbooks.
They make.
Yeah, so y'all already know the YNs have been banned. The YNs have been banned from Target, McDonald's, and all that good stuff in Brooklyn. Now, look, one thing I've not seen in my neck of the woods is, hold on, let me show you. All right, can we get a freeze frame? There we go, boom. A security guard in McDonald's. Yo, you know you got a problem when you got a security guard at McDonald's. Have you guys ever seen a security guard in McDonald's? if this dude got a gun on him, I'd be like, yo, you know what? A McChicken or a McCrispy chicken sandwich is not worth losing your life or getting deleted. I promise it's not. Hey, I know the chicken nuggets, the fries, all of that are good, but it ain't worth. But now look, if they make it with beef tallow, 100% natural beef tallow, maybe I understand at that point. You might want to go crash out for that. But just regular grease that's been in there for about 15 years, and you in New York, you're gonna have all kind of extra stuff in your grease. It ain't worth it. Just go to the house, man. Just go to the house. All right. But yeah, a security guard in the McDonald's is crazy. If I go in there and I see that, like, you know what? Never mind. You got it. Never mind. Never mind. Now, this guy right here, Zoran Mamdi, he's a New York state official, not a federale guy, I don't think. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Okay. These names, Zoran. Okay, hold on. He's a New York state representative, but he's not a DC guy. He's a local guy. So he's trying to lower prices by making stores owned by the government. Okay, let's see how this is going to work. And before he says anything, how do y'all feel about stores owned by the government? What do y'all think? Let me know.
Grocery prices are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zahran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you. Grocery prices?
Okay, so, but who worked there though? Because, okay, a grocery store has an impact on the community from the tax revenue and the jobs and also the food that they serve. So if you have a city-owned grocery store, will you be able to meet those three things? Look, you got to be able to provide jobs for the community. You got to be able to bring a tax base, money to the community, and you got to be able to bring good quality food. Those three things are very important. Can you do that with a state-owned store? I don't know about that. Now, I know about state-owned stores. They got them in Virginia, the ABC store. That's the liquor stores. In Virginia, there's no private liquor stores. You could get beer and wine from gas stations, grocery stores, and whatnot, but you can't get liquor. You got to go to the ABC store. And I think it's like that in other parts of the country as well. But a grocery store, a straight-up grocery store, no, we don't have anything like that. So what do y'all think? We looking like Cuba? The food in there is going to be scampy. It ain't, you're going to be in there getting beans, beans and rice, and that's it. You know, you could be looking like old Russia, like Soviet Russia. You could look like that in there. So I'm not quite sure that I want that. Yeah, government cheese, I couldn't do nothing with it. I think that's why I don't like cheese right now. Well, I like cheese a little bit, but I don't like certain kind of cheese. If you eat Velveeta, listen, if you invite me to Thanksgiving and you're going to cook Velveeta for mac and cheese, I want you to disinvite me. If you invite me to Thanksgiving and you have Velveeta and the mac and cheese, please disinvite me. I don't want to go. The smell off rip, I'm going to be completely sick. I'm going to be sick. Tracy Morgan at the basketball game sick. So please don't do it. All righty. Now, Mr. Frenchie talking about return the Statue of Liberty. Return the Statue of Liberty. I think not. Matter of fact, if you want it, come get it. How about that, Mr. Frenchie?
Nous allons dire aux Américains deux choses. D'abord, rendez-nous la statue de la...
So he says we're going to tell the Americans two things. First, give back the Statue of Liberty.
La liberté. On vous en a fait cadeau. On vous en a fait cadeau. Mais apparemment, vous la méprisez.
He said, gave it to you as a gift, but apparently you despise it.
Alors elle sera très bien.
Then she will be just fine here at our place.
Ici, chez nous, on en a marre d'en avoir une toute petite. On veut la grande.
I bet you do want to. You know what? I ain't gonna repeat that. Is that inappropriate? Hold on. I'm gonna say this, but I'm not being inappropriate. He says we don't want the small one. We want the big one. I bet you do want the big one rather than the small one. I didn't say it. But he said it. Mr. Frenchie said it.
Et on veut le poème qu'il y a écrit en dessous.
You can have the poem. The poem ain't nothing. The poem was a fundraiser for the base. It ain't like our value. That's just a poem. You can have that.
Cet appel à tous les persécutés. Cet appel à tous les persécutés. Aux libres penseurs. Qui leur promettait une terre ouverte.
All right, that's enough of that, though. Talking about some, it's the whatever. You just want to make a name for yourself, Mr. Frenchie. Look, for real, shout out to the French. Shout out to, what does France do? French fries? Oh, that's like a U.S. thing. You could get more French fries at McDonald's in the whole France. Paris, a dump. Paris been a dump for centuries. Centuries has been a dump. Throughout the history of Europe, the Jack the Ripper days in London been a dump for a long time too, but London is not as bad as Paris. Paris is terrible. Paris sucks. France sucks. I mean, south of France, you got Nice and Monaco, which are, I think Monaco's its own country. South of France, you got a bunch of rich people down there playing on yachts. Okay, that's fine. But look, shout out to the French people. Regular normies. Shout out to you if you have French ancestry. Shout out to the francophones all over the world. Shout out to y'all. But the French suck. I mean, the Haitians, that story is terrible. Y'all treated the Haitians like garbage. Y'all treat all y'all African. Like if you go to West Africa, the worst places are the former French colonies. France sucks. And they suck for a long time. Waving the white flag, surrendering. They can't say a word when it comes to the U.S. And I know it's just a low-level guy in France, member of parliament. That's fine. It's not Macron and his granny wife. But still, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. If somebody from over here talk crazy to a Russia or a China, let's say, for example, Eric Swalwell got crazy and talked about China real bad. Y'all tricked me. Y'all fooled me. You guys looking like Winnie the Pooh. If he says something like that, Trump has to immediately check him. Immediately check him. You can't just let that ride. I don't want to hear from anybody not in a high level of power who is not in a superpower. Okay? So let's let Xi Jinping talk at me. Let's let Putin talk at me. I don't even want to see Zelensky. He the president of Ukraine. I don't even want to see him. I don't want to see you, Mr. Member of Parliament from France. When's the last time France has been relevant at all in this world? When's the last time France was relevant in this world? You guys are like a state in a country rather than your own thing. You're a tourist trap at best. But again, shout out to the French, though. The regular normies who live there. Parlez-vous français, oui, bonbons, all that. Shout out to the bonbons, the baguettes, the little berets and all of that, the fashion. Yeah, shout out to you guys, but nah, you're not in a position to talk crazy to the United States. The United States, we're the big dog. You're a small fish in the small pond. We're the big dog in the big pond. It's top three. Us, China, Russia. Everybody else don't even really say nothing. You're not even Brazil, though, Frank. Brazil is like, okay, you're not even the Brazil. You're like, and I don't want to insult no other country, but France is like a Moldova or something like this. I'm sure they're nice people, but if the Moldovans want to say, oh, America, you're not, I don't want to hear a word you got to say, Moldova. Same thing with France. China, Russia, I'm listening. The UK, maybe even. Powdered wigs, all that kind of stuff, maybe y'all listen. Not the French. And definitely not nobody from Quebec. like Kamala Harris. Hey, you know what? We did not have a live interpreter for the Mr. Frenchy guy speaking, but I bet if we had Kamala here, she would understand French better than talking to the community because she grew up in Quebec where they speak French. I know she speaks French well. You have to live in your young years in French Canada. You got to know French. Oh, they got, the wine, but hey, we got good wine in California. Check it out. If France cut off the wine supply, they stop picking grapes. If they stop doing that, we got California, we got South America, we got New Zealand. We good. We good money. We don't need France. California alone is enough for America's wine needs, in my humble opinion. Maybe I could be wrong, but I doubt it. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Speaking about the Europeans, Hungary just banned LGBTQ pride events around children because obviously if you're having a pride event and you got kids there, they may see inappropriate things. And I would think that most rational people would not want children to be exposed to adult activity. That's kind of common sense to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Now, the vote passed overwhelmingly 136 to 27, but the left responded with smoke bombs. All right. Smoke bombs because they cannot expose themselves to kids anymore. Imagine that.
A Törvényalkotási Bizottság összegző módosító javaslatát T/11.201/4-es számon, összegző jelentését pedig T/11.201/5.
So leftists, so-called protesters, really terrorists, leftist terrorists are all over this world. They're over in Hungary. They're mad because they cannot have pride events around children. Why do you want to have a pride event around kids? Anybody want to tell me that? And here's something I learned. I read a lot. I was reading somewhere, and it was about a pride event that happened somewhere. I don't know where, probably California somewhere, as usual, per usual. It was a pride event that happened, and it was a gay person observing that there was nobody actually gay at the event, or very few gays at the event. It was mostly straight people and their kids. Why would you be a straight person or a gay person or any kind of person and bring your children to a pride event? Why would you do that? What benefit does a child have from going to a pride event? What does it do for them? I know what it does for the parent. What it does for the parent is they feel good about themselves. Hey, you know what? I did this and I'm an ally and all this, that, and the third. I understand why they would do it, but why would a parent do it? I'm having a hard time being able to figure that out. Why would a parent do that to help the kid? The parent does it for themselves, but why would they do it to help the kid? How does it help the kid? It doesn't help the kid at all. It just helps the parent and their own ego. All right. Now, here's something else. This is the reason why we have boys' rooms and girls' rooms, okay? I said it from the beginning when they started to do the whole transgender thing. Oh, okay, you could be transgender and go to wherever you want to go, bathroom of your choice. I said it back then. I'm like, you know what? What's going to happen is you're going to get these perverts that are going to take advantage of the law to go into women's restrooms and terrorize them there, okay? And of course, we got somebody right here doing it.
Why are you recording? No, hold on. What the hell? What the fuck is your problem? Hold on. Ow. Stop. Hey, what the fuck?
Now, I applaud her tenacity here, but it might be a little bit dangerous. This dude got all black on in the women's bathroom recording you. That's probably going to be a dangerous person. That could have easily went the wrong way. So that kind of thing will happen if you allow it to happen. It'll happen anyway, but you're going to, how can I say this? It's already illegal to delete someone. But if you say that it's no longer illegal to do it, you're going to have more of it. You're going to incentivize it. You're going to encourage it. When you say it's okay for a man to be in the woman's private space because they identify as whatever they want to identify, you're going to have more men who go out there and do it because they'll be backed by the law. The law is a deterrent. If no deterrent, you're going to have more of this kind of activity. So in the name of trying to be tolerant, inclusive, you're just putting women in danger. For what? Why? So yeah, that right there, listen, all bad. Check it out. If I'm there, like let's say we at a restaurant, right? I'm on a date with a young lady. She go to the bathroom and she come out screaming and the dude come behind her. Man, you getting the biggest beatdown. You're getting the biggest beatdown of your life. You getting stomped into wine. Speaking about wine, you're getting stomped into wine. I'm talking about Timberland boots on your forehead. Boom, 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 all on your forehead. All of this right here is going to be a big Timberland boot print right on front of that. I don't care. Hard bottom print, flip-flop print. It'll be right there in the center of your head. But anyway.
The road rage.
Now, speaking about the Transformers, we have a violent Transformer as usual because they're violent. One thing about the trans community, I've realized that they're crazy. You got to be a crazy person. Listen, hear me out. You got to be a crazy individual to chop your stuff off. You got to be a crazy individual to be a man and go outside dressed as a woman like ain't no big deal. I done seen guys back in the day looking like Miss Doubtfire. I'm talking about you have Hank, the HVAC tech. He get off of work and then put on his grandma's dress and go straight to the bar, straight to Trader Joe's. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Something's wrong. Something is wrong. If you're a man and you want to put female hormones in your body, something ain't right. You're not dealing with you're not playing with a full deck. You're a few trees short of a forest. Something's not right. So if you have a mental issue, it's only rational to expect to crash out some kind of event that would make you say, you know what? That guy's not all the way right in the head. In this case, it's a guy by the name of Graham Bain. I don't know what the pronouns are, but this is a prime example of a transgender crash out. Check it out.
The road rage suspect who was shot during the incident appeared in court this morning. Bond remains at $100,000 for Graham Bain. Police say Bain cut off a driver who had 3 young children inside their car. Dash cam video shows Bain ramming their car last month, with the chase continuing through neighborhoods, a church parking lot. Now, the other driver said he was scared, so he stopped on Carlisle Avenue near Taylor Boulevard and shot Bain. Bain, who has been in the hospital for treatment, is charged with wanton endangerment. The road rage suspect.
So look, the dude is so crazy. You ramming the car. My man got 3 kids in the car. That's him right there. That's a transgender. She, her, pronouns, I suppose. Graham Bain. Okay, this dude, I mean, when he goes to prison, hey, matter of fact, while you're at it, check his phone. Because I know it's some stuff on there, off rip. Check his phone, his computer, all of that. I know it's something that shouldn't be on there. You understand? You catch my drift? But these are the individuals. He could be having some stuff on his laptop that shouldn't be there. He could be a potential school shooter. That kind of aesthetic. Okay? Mentally ill aesthetic. Lucky he ain't died, man. You got a dad with his 3 kids in the car and you ramming his car. Lucky you ain't died. Lucky he got shot and survived. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Tampon Tim. This guy, you know why they selected Tampon Tim? They thought he was going to be more of a masculine kind of figure. They said that. They said that we picked him, well, in part because the left doesn't like Jews. They wanted to get Josh Shapiro, but they don't like Jews too much on the left right now, so they couldn't pick him. So the second best option was this guy, football coach, manly. I'm seeing a normie, a complete 100% normie. Okay, unremarkable, just a regular guy. All right, that's what I see. I see a sitcom TV dad.
Have they figured it out that the identity piece of this is more important than the actual substance behind it?
Well, they've been doing it for decades. I mean, we've saw the welfare queens. They've seen the Southern strategy. We've seen it over and over. It's an old playbook, and we're as dumb as we want to be that we allow them to do this with CRT and ESG and DEI and every three-letter word.
And then they demonize people.
Yeah, demonize, and they weaponize grievance. They other people. They talk down to people, past people. They humiliate people.
Who is they? Who is they, though? You see what I'm talking about? You're talking about they otherwise and they. Who is they? Who is they? You see, it's regular versus irregular. Okay? You got a vampire right here in Gavin Newsom, and over there you got Elmer Fudd. Regular versus irregular.
Weaponize difficult issues. But the bottom line is, and I think it goes back to what we began with, is, and I applaud you for this, is we cannot continue to be on the defense reacting to this. We've got to go on the offense. We got to meet people where they are. But
you guys are always on the offense. You guys are always on the offense. You have, see, they're not self-aware. They don't understand. They don't see what we see. It's like living in a house where it stinks real bad, but you're in there all the time, so you don't smell it. That's kind of what it's like. They don't smell their own house. We smell it because we don't go to their house. When we go over there, it smells like you got 1,000 cats in here and a bunch of other animals that you ain't found. You don't know where they're at. You missing a few of them because they dead somewhere and they stink too. We smell it. You guys don't. So you think that we are trying to attack y'all and we're othering, but really it's you. We're reacting to you.
Where they are. But I also think this, and this is where, this is part of the conversation I'm trying to have, is you got to respect people you disagree with, and you can't just dismiss people. This
How do you fight it?
This notion
I think
of
I could kick most of their ass. I do think that if they want to do it. I know I can run them, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing.
Counter but it's a natural reaction. I think it's one of the reasons we're losing so many men. And again, it's multi-ethnic. It's not just white men. We're losing them. We're losing them to these guys online. We're losing them to people that I'm bringing on this podcast as well. That's why I brought.
These are bad guys, though.
Nah, we're not bad guys. We're not bad guys. You guys are the bad ones. You guys are the bad ones. We're the good guys. You guys are the bad guys. Does he have dentures? What's going on with this right here? Like, okay, I'm going to vote for a president, right? Or a vice president. And you give me a lineup. And then this guy comes up. Dancing queen, waving, beauty queen wave. Why would I want to vote for him? Why? We're not bad guys. You guys are the bad guys. And really, you know what? I can say they're bad guys, and that can be accurate. But beyond that, they're not guys. These guys are so effeminate, I can't really qualify them as men. And that's what a lot of young guys see. They see the weakness and the fecklessness in you, and they see the strength in us. They're attracted to the strength and repelled by your weakness. You say they're bad guys because you can't be like them. You can't be strong and straightforward, and you can't be us, so we're bad.
Bad guys.
But they exist, and we could deny they exist. They exist. Not only they exist, they persist, and they're actually influencing young kids every single day.
How do we push some of those guys back under a rock?
I think we have to first understand what their motivations are. I think we have to understand what they're actually doing. And
you don't think
that's
it's racism and misogyny?
I think there's a lot of that, but I don't think it's
all these isms ain't gonna get it done. They ain't gonna get it done. Fix your hair, Tim. I see you. It is, dude. See what I'm saying? Like, the hair is gone. It's been gone, man. Like, just accept it. And matter of fact, this kind of George Jefferson type of situation, the sideburns, the side hair with the top gone, cut it off, bro. Join the bald head club. I've been bald since high school, man, on purpose. You need to join it because
misogyny.
I think there's a lot of that, but I don't think it's exclusively that. When you talk to a guy like Steve Bannon, he talks about working folks and he talks about how we hollowed out the industrial core of this country. But I understand that. But so we can dismiss the notion of election denialism. We could completely dismiss what he did on January 6th, but I don't think you can dismiss what he's saying. Reminds me a lot of what Bernie Sanders was saying. Reminds me a lot of what Democrats said 20, 30 years ago.
All right, so there we go. So Gavin, I told y'all Gavin is going to be the leader of the pack. If they don't run Gavin, they're just dumb. And that's fine. I think Gavin's still not going to be able to defeat anybody else. Gavin couldn't defeat anybody on the right that they put, especially like a JD Vance. It wouldn't work. And this guy right here, Tampon Tim and TM, it ain't going to work, man. It's not going to work. But guys like this, I mean, I think that they don't understand what a man is supposed to be because he's so effeminate, trolling a fairy. He does not understand what a man's supposed to be. Gavin can behave like a man, but he's like a vampire, really. He's like I don't know, like a lizard man, basically. He's a better actor than Tampon Tim is. Now, Chuck Schumer. Who told Chuck Schumer to go on TV and then criticize Americans for not wanting to pay taxes? Does anybody want to pay taxes? Listen, by show of hands, who wants to pay taxes? Look, I understand everybody wants the country to run properly. We want things to, okay, I get it. Your creature comforts, your pretty cities, I get it. But who gets up in the morning and says, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do today? I want to work very hard and give my money to the federales or to the state. I don't even want to pay sales tax. I know at a certain point what needs to happen, but I don't want to do it, especially when they take the money and they set it on fire in front of my face. Okay, let's watch this and we'll watch the other one too.
This is a different, horrible kettle of fish. Mm-hmm. They hate the government. They want to shut down everything. You heard what Musk said, $2 trillion. This is a different.
Okay, now we don't like the government. We want smaller government. We don't like the monstrosity that has become of the government. We don't like that. We want to reduce it. We can have government, but just not to be so big. Why do we need 10,000 trillion million bazillion agencies that don't do anything other than get paid and go back to the house in Northern Virginia? Why do we need that? What benefit is that to the American people? I don't really understand. All right. Now,
he wants to use that money for tax cuts for the billionaires. The Republican Party is a different kettle of fish than it used to be. And that's why we're fighting them so hard. They are controlled by a small group of wealthy, greedy people.
But look, Kamala raised, I would say, almost double the money that Trump raised. So wealthy, greedy people, y'all got the money. I don't understand. That's called projection.
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, my the land and water that I own, or my employees?
Now he's saying that like it's a bad thing, like that mentality is bad or somehow wrong. It's not wrong to think that way, especially when y'all don't put forward things that actually help the American people that you spend the money on. You want to tax, and then not just spend, but literally set the money on fire. Why would 1 red cent go to a transgender opera somewhere overseas? For what? Why? If the money went back into the country, like, I don't know, infrastructure, roads, they always say, oh, my roads, we got to have to, because my roads, if we don't have taxes, my roads. Listen, these roads are terrible. The interstate system out where I stay is pretty cool, but once you get kind of local, it gets rough. And we still got issues with infrastructure. We got certain towns, cities in this country that got brown water, you can't drink it, non-potable water in the first world country. And the richest country on planet Earth, the best country on planet Earth, we still got non-potable water in certain parts of the country. So rather than sending $350 billion to Ukraine, how about we spend some of the money right here, building up infrastructure, building up our country the way it's supposed to be, bringing jobs back here. How about that? And that freeze frame is appropriate. That's pretty much how he looked throughout the entire time. And when you hear him say that it's somehow wrong for a person to not want to pay taxes, I mean, that is the kind of Scrooge McDuck, Penguin from Batman look that that person would have when they say something like that. Listen, I understand we got to have this country be funded. We got to have things work. But nobody wants to pay taxes. Nobody. Nobody wants to do that. And it's not a bad thing to not want to do it. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. Okay. Don Lemon. Guys like this I hate. Don Lemon. Here's his advice to the Democratic Party. And when I play it, you guys tell me, do you agree with him or disagree, and why?
People love AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for. People.
Okay, so he says people love AOC, Jasmine Crockett, and Eric Swalwell. So we should put them out there in front more. What do y'all think? Is that a good piece of advice? Is it bad? What do y'all think? Would you do that? Now, here's what I think as y'all are deliberating. Here's what I think. I say go ahead and do it. Go ahead. Put them out there. Put AOC out there. Matter of fact, you know what I want? What I want to see is AOC do a town hall with I want to see AOC. Matter of fact, here's a great idea. This would be great for TV. Great TV. It'd be a great way to expose what they're into. Okay. I want a town hall on Fox News with conservative voters in the audience asking real-time live questions, nothing pre-recorded, no kind of pre-written, pre-approved questions. So the panel, the town hall, it'd be on Fox News. It'd be conservatives in the crowd asking questions to AOC, Eric Swalwell, and Jasmine Crockett. That's what I want to see. I want to see that in real time, 100%. That would be fantastic. So yeah, put them out there so we can see just how dumb they are. You know what I would do? Matter of fact, if I could get tickets to that town hall, I would pay any dollar amount in the world. You know what I want to ask? I'm going to ask Eric Swalwell, hey, where's Fang Fang at? You talked to her recently? How's she doing? How's her family? You been to China recently? Have you seen her in China recently? Do you have another Fang Fang Yum Yum in the cut, in the tuck? Oh, I'm asking the question. And then, oh, that's petty ABL. No. Because listen, if you're in government, I want to make sure that you're not compromised. We can't have any more Yum Yums walking around, roaming around, getting data, getting intel from an American congressman. We can't have that. So, Swalwell, have you seen Fang Fang Yum Yum recently? Did you go to China to see her and the family and whatnot? What's going on with that? Did you replace Fang Fang with somebody else from mainland China? Do you speak Mandarin? I want to know. Get them all on one panel and ask some hard-hitting questions. That's what I want to see, for sure. And don't let them run for president. Oh, my goodness. When you're trying to become the president, vice president, something like that, the level of scrutiny is at a 10. You are very, very heavily scrutinized. So let them run for that. You're going to see all kind of skeletons, bats, cats, rats, dogs fly out of the closet. Now, here we go. The whole black MAGA thing. This right here, this displays Don Lemon's ignorance. I hear this quite a bit from ignorant people that don't know anything just on the internet or out in the world. I don't really hear this too much in the street. Nobody ever says anything about me being a conservative or whatever in the street. That's not really a real thing that happens. People try to do it online because they have anonymity on their side and they're not going to have me crash out on them. But in real life, I'm a big person in real life. I sound just like this in real life. So I'm intimidating to a lot of people, so they don't really say anything to me. But online, everybody's Braveheart online. But this is typical of online and or ignorant people.
It's the same thing that when I see not all black Republicans, but I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying. It is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person. Let's put him on television. So
that right there is misconception, actually. Really, if you want to be a black person in grift because you're black, be on the left. Black Lives Matter. They raised millions, got a whole real estate portfolio. And it was not just BLM, GNF, like the main people. You had a bunch of different satellite organizations that called themselves Black Lives Matter. If you were in 2020, 2021 claiming to be part of Black Lives Matter, you were able to get paid. Speaking engagements, I don't get many of those. If you are a black leftist and you talk about how bad the white man is, they will pay you thousands upon thousands of dollars per speech to go lecture to white people about how bad they are. That's the whole industry. Ta-Nehisi Coates, a moron, but yet has a nice house, New York, goes on TV. You're doing stuff on New York Times. You're getting put on TV. When you watch television, how many stations are there for conservatives at all, let alone black conservatives? ABC, CNN, all the alphabet letter places want liberals. Don Lemon was perfect because he's gay and a liberal. And I don't want to say what I was going to say, but for them, he's perfect. There's a bunch of those kind of guys, Roland Martin looking dudes, diabetes head looking dudes, kind of out of shape, not very threatening, will do whatever the white man tell them to do. They want submissive black men on television that will do whatever they're told to by the executives. And they want to be able to sexually harass them. Don Lemon said he got harassed by men and women at CNN when he was there. Don Lemon said he got sexually harassed by men and women at CNN. They want to do that to you. That's why they hire you. Roland Martin, same thing. There's a picture of Roland Martin playing golf, tooting his butt out with a bunch of white guys. That's what they like. They like you to be soft and submissive. And I don't just mean LGBT. Shout out to the LGBT homies. I know some LGBT homies that will completely stomp you in the wine. Gay is not always the equivalent of being submissive as a man. They want you to be submissive. They want you to be somebody that'll take orders. They don't want you to have a lot of strength and power. A lot of the black MAGA guys are the exact opposite of that. So we don't get a lot of airtime on television. Y'all get that, Don Lemon, not us. But he doesn't really understand because he sees things from his phone. He's on Twitter a lot and he sees the attention we get and he doesn't understand why he could not get the same kind of attention. You're able to get it on CNN because the white liberal executives want to play with you and stuff like this. Off of television, off of the corporate plantation, the Democratic plantation, you got to be in the street for real. You got to be in the field for real. And in reality, masculine strong men always dominate. That's the reality.
This person, let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere black MAGA person?
No, I just said, I don't think that, I just said, I think there can be sincere Republicans.
But you can't be a sincere black Republican?
I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
A black Republican is like Michael Steele. Okay, another soft guy, you know, that'll say pretty much whatever they tell him to say. Okay, when he was at the RNC, he did what they told him to do. And now that he's on the left, he does what they told him to do. It's the same thing. He likes other soft guys like him. That's what he means by that, if you didn't know.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting. It's the same thing that
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily offended. I understand where that kind of thought process comes from. It comes from a guy like him. Of course, he would say that because he's an ignorant person, doesn't really know too much. He's been propped up by television and think that he's more than what he is. When he interviewed Elon Musk, Elon was asking him very simple questions, and he didn't understand how to answer it because he's not that smart. He'll go on TV because he fits what a CNN or a corporate structure would want, but they don't want guys like me. It's very few of us on TV. Look, it's very few of us on TV. They don't want guys like me. So the whole thing about being a black MAGA, you get opportunities, that's not even really true. That's not even really true. All righty. Conor McGregor, right quick. Shout out to him. All right. Going to the White House, went to the White House.
Happy Paddy's Day, America.
All right. Now, here's something else. Talking about Ireland, getting a little bit serious here.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed. And the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit. What is going on in Ireland?
Right on. So, hey, my man gets serious. You know, he got the kind of the personality, the entertainer, but he can also get serious, say a few things that are going on over in Ireland. And he's right on point with that. And I feel for Ireland. Ireland's been kind of at the center of a lot of things that shouldn't be happening, like the whole Northern Ireland, the Anglos coming over and dominating the Irish, you know, and then you got the illegal aliens coming over, dominating the Irish. Shout out to the Irish. Hopefully they can get past all this nonsense that's happening to them. But yeah, the Irish, they good people. I know quite a few people that's Irish. They kind of similar to us. So shout out to them. All right. Shout out to the Irish and Conor McGregor. Now, I think I got one more. Then I'm going to get to the calls. This is about illegal aliens. You know, because the left, they love their illegal aliens. They love them so much. They love crime, violence, all that kind of good stuff. And then they wonder why people don't want to vote for them and why they don't like them. Let's check it out.
We're not saying keep violent people who came to this country illegally, keep them here. We're not saying that. We want them gone.
That's what
but
a judge said. A judge said bring them back.
Yes,
a judge said bring them back.
A rule has to be followed.
Where would you put them, by the way?
But Abby, follow the rule.
There is a law. The law proves.
Now, the context is that we deported a bunch of these criminal aliens to El Salvador and we bypassed the judge.
They are violent or that they should be kicked out. Then you deport them. But you can't make up your own rules and just bypass the judicial system. You can't ignore a judge because we have rules in place. And it's fine and dandy now because you don't like who they're targeting. But what happened when you do? When there's people who's being targeted,
there's no illegal alien, I would say, let's keep here over another one. I mean, these people are here in the country illegally, first of all. Second of all,
but if they're
it's a
following
violent
the rules
population.
and they don't, we're not saying.
I mean, really, the whole thing about the judge, all of that. I mean, get the illegal aliens up out of here. Get them up out of here. And the judge is an activist judge. They're trying to block everything. They're trying to block the whole U.S. aid thing. They're trying to block everything from the judicial branch. But that's not how it's supposed to be. You got powers that are kind of checked. You can't just that the activist judges got to go. Is it Yakub? Yeah, this see what I'm talking about? They got guys like this. Look at this guy. See, they got guys like that on there. That's who they want on TV. Okay? That's what they want on there. A guy that's going to sit, a black male that will sit here and defend illegal aliens. No bueno. That is what they want on TV. If I was to say that on YouTube, I'd have already been on CNN. I would have a job on CNN if I was to go on there and say stuff like that all day long. But then again, I'm a little bit too masculine. They don't want that because they're going to try to like sexually harass me. And that's going to be the last time we do that. But thank you guys again. I appreciate you for being here. You got to get to the calls in a minute here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. His beard is crooked. That beard, I don't know what's going on with that beard, with the beard activity. I don't know how you even get that type of connection going on, but shout out to him, man. Everybody got to try. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And let's get to some calls. But first, we got super chats on deck. And then we get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658. Marge at tax is crazy. 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. That get to the Whitesman for gifting 5 ABL memberships. Appreciate you for that. That get to Boycott China, who says, Elon stole Putin's Space Force ride money using clean rocket fuel instead, developed from electric car money and sales. Quote, he's the worst person alive, unquote. Exactly, crazy. That get to Boycott China again, who says, you said we make thousands, ABL. Shout out to Kai's Posthumous, who says, RIP to all who perished in the ovens in Mexico. Yeah, RIP. That get to Kai's Posthumous again, who says, JFK files release, then the CIA has a coup d'etat. I mean, for real with the JFK files, listen, if the JFK files don't say the CIA did it, I'm not interested, to be totally honest. But maybe there's some things in there that could pique my interest. We'll see. When you guys are able to come through it, I want to see exactly what's the most important things in there. But without the smoking gun, I want to see is JFK dead and the CIA did it. That's what I want to see. They get to Cardinal O'Flanagan, who says those ladies need to check theyself before they wreck theyself, cause domestic terrorism is bad for your health. There you go. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says Owen Shore from InfoWars got swatted. Afterwards, they delivered pizza with the name of the reporter who was murdered, Jamie White. They are unhinged. Yeah, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. It is totally a mess. Thank you to Brent Armstrong, who says, what do you think about the whole Trump getting rid of the segregation laws thing? Haven't seen much conservative coverage. I mean, personally, I think you should be able to have a place that is, I think you should be able to say, I want only whites here, and I only want blacks here, and I only want Latinos here. If you have a private place, not public. However, I also think that you should be able to boycott or simply not go there if you don't like it. And people would support what they like and what they don't like. Personally, I don't want to be in a place where I'm not welcome. I don't want to be there, period. And if enough people feel like that's not right, it's wrong, it's racist, naturally they'll shut down because they have no more business. So I feel that should be the way we go forward. And also, I don't want these laws to be misused to say you got to cater to a transgender. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my take on it. But I'm going to look more into that to see exactly what is gone. But if what I said is pretty much right on point, that's how I feel about it. And I'm not in favor of segregation, but I think you should be able to say that. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to go there. And if people don't like it in the place, you'll go out of business. So it'll solve itself. Okay, now H-Man says, nah, B, that ain't it. Well, give me what you think I said is wrong. Tell me what I said is wrong. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Thank you to Clay Bisbee, who says, have you heard that George Soros' open source offices got raided in India? I did not hear about that. Rebel Without a Reason says, shout out to Sonia. She's listening. Shout out to Sonia. Shout out to you, Sonia. Thank you for listening. And thank you to Damian Martinez, who says, ABL, I'm a Mexican American, and I'm the first son to call Tom Howard. Hey, he said Jello instead of hello. Get him. Right on. Shout out to you, bro. And you know what? It's crazy because when I talk about illegal aliens, people automatically go, oh, you hate Mexicans. Like, Mexicans, do you know the whole world wants to come here illegally? The whole world. I'm talking about black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, everybody. Chinese, Central American, South American, Canadian, European, African, Asian, the whole world. 190 countries tried to come here in 1 year. And 190 countries speaking all kind of languages. Indians, all of that coming over here illegally. So, and then the thing is, the key word is illegal. You want to come over here illegally, act a fool, carry on. I'm on the phone immediately. Like, yo, there you go right there. I'll be in the courtroom. There you go right there. I'll practice pointing. Who's illegal alien? Who'd you hear speaking Urdu? Who was speaking in Phoenicia? Him right there. Go get him right there. I'm on the phone. I got my own hotline, and they know my voice. Hello, immigration. Hey, Mr. Logan, how you doing? I'm good. I got one more for you today. Pick him up. He's right here on the side of the road. I got him on my phone. Right. I got a picture of him. Right. I'm gonna send you a picture of him. I'm gonna send you the license plate. He in the car drinking. He got beer in the front seat. Go get him. Matter of fact, if you see him on the interstate, give him a pit maneuver for me. Pit maneuver the illegal alien for me. That's what I would say. Speaking of pit maneuvers, I watch a lot of like cops type stuff, like Donut Operator. I like him. He has a good channel. But I watch some of these Instagram pages where they talk about Atlanta stuff, and they often show pit maneuvers. Oh, I love those. Oh my gosh. If you have not seen the police chase end in Atlanta specifically, you got to get the Atlanta pit maneuver. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. They got the dash cam, nice and HD. They get right up on them and pit them just right. They're like experts at pit maneuvers. So yeah, if you enjoy watching pit maneuvers from cops on drunk drivers and whatnot, you got to follow some Atlanta pages because they got them all day long. And they be everybody. It be black, Hispanic, white, whatever. So yeah, shout out to the cops out there doing those beautiful pit maneuvers on these crazy people on the road. Anyway, we got calls on deck. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the box. Also, it'll be right here in the bottom of the screen at a certain point as well. Oh, Arkansas? Oh, yeah, okay. I got to see some of those as well. Yeah, that sounds good. Love pit maneuvers. I love any kind of like police-related stuff. I saw one video where it was on Donut's page where it was a guy holding a woman hostage. It was like computer monitors around. So think about it like this. The guy is behind a computer monitor. It's kind of like covering his face a little bit. And he has lady hostage, gun right here. The cop shot through the monitor and hit him in the head. I was like, wow, that's impressive. But anyway, the number to call, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. All right. But yeah, shout out to Arkansas. Yeah, GSP, APD, they don't play no games. I love it. And you got to be like that on the road sometimes because you got these drivers that don't care. They do pretty much whatever they want to do on the road. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. If you want the hat, dark green marine, you want the hat, go to ablmerch.com. I wonder if I can edit this right here. I might not be able to do it here. But yeah, ablmerch.com, that's the place you're going to get the hats. All right, let me restart my Skype. So Tracy Morgan had an incident on the sideline where he threw up recently, a day or two ago. He said it was food poisoning, but he was in the hospital with stuff on him, on his chest. I'm like, why you got all them wires for food poisoning? Like, what's really going on? Hopefully he's okay though. Hopefully Tracy Morgan is okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think that was it. I think I had to restart my Skype because it wasn't coming in. Lemur says most of the pits in Arkansas around Little Rock and West Memphis. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Memphis and Little Rock, of course. Yeah, Little Rock. I mean, it's a shame what California did to Little Rock because that's what caused the 1990s drug, the gangs and all of that. That was California. The music and the people coming out there with the drugs. Number to call, 434-658-1220. Skype could have a problem. Well, we'll see if it's messing up. But I'm going to change Skype anyway because they're going to stop supporting Skype. I don't know who was behind that decision to stop supporting Skype. I don't know why that was the thing they wanted to do. Is the phone line messed up? Don't tell me no lies now, Caius. If the phone line is messed up, I have to change right now. I can change it to a different number if the phone line is messed up, but we'll see. It is messed up? Okay. It's not working? Okay. All right. There goes Skype. See? Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a quick audible, okay? I'm going to give you guys a new number. And I think it's time to go ahead and switch right now. I was trying to not do it right away, but oh well. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, hold on. It's going to be very quick. And we got a new number. The number to call, I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. And I'm going to put it in the description as well. Hold on. My new number is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. I will also link to that. Again, it'll be in the description. Ignore that one right there in the ticker. The new number you want to call is 706-406-3287. All right. And we're going to see how that works. If you guys can call in, that'd be fantastic. Y'all let me know. All right. 706-406-3287. Okay, we got a call. Look at that. 801, you know, line I'm speaking to.
What's up, ABL? This is Mac. The whole thing, you were talking about like the Democrats, how they're trying to put up AOC and Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
I think they should, man, because like them two, they're like pretty dumb, and especially Jasmine Crockett, she's really ghetto. And if you think about it, like they're not gonna be running against Trump anymore. So like everybody's gonna see JD Vance, and when you put them, either one of them against JD Vance, like it's gonna be a night and day difference. Like, I'll see a lot of Democrats, I'm guessing, but a lot of Democrats are gonna be looking at how ghetto they are and like, man, I don't want this as my leader, And so I think they should, uplift those two and try to run with it, because I think we'll smash them pretty bad on the next election.
Oh yeah, exactly, and that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing, because all you gotta do is just show them, display them, and then people will see. Man, they look kind of crazy. I'm not going to vote for them. So yeah, you're right on point. Go ahead and show them, and then let everybody see what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly, and especially when you put them when you ask the American people, is this the kind of leaders you want talking to other world leaders like that? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna want that, man. Even Democrats gonna be like, oh man, yeah, we got the wrong candidates up there. And so if that's all they got, oh man, they're screwed for the next how long? I don't know how long, but yeah, they're done.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, keep up the good work, and talk to you later. What's up?
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, we got quite a few calls that came in. The number to call again, 706. All right, hold on. Let's go. 860. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony, how you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
FNA Ranger Xbox.
All righty.
Oh, you had me dying when you said the killer whales are like black dolphins. Oh, I almost fell off the couch laughing so hard. Thank you very much. I was going to mention about a month and a half ago that 3 teenagers in the middle of the night stole a New York City subway. I was going to have you do a story on that. But anyhow, do you know that the Ukrainians are building a $2 billion ski resort town?
I wonder how they can afford that.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, you would think that stopping the Russian invasion of Europe would be the most pressing thing, right?
It should be, but of course, you know, they got to take all that money and just live a little lavish, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to relax, you know, have some R&R for the troops on the front lines, you know, so they could go have some fun in the $2 billion ski resort town. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It just keeps getting better and better, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
I just want to say keep up the good work, and I'm going to close with this. Last, cover the kids' ears because I'm going to say a bad word, just one little tiny bad word. You know the Democrat Party's finished when the best they got is a Crockett full of shit. And I'll leave with that, ABL. You take care, brother. Love you. Love the show. God bless you.
Thanks for the call. You guys are hilarious. Shout out to y'all, but no cussing. All right. And again, the number to call, do I even know it? 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number will be in the description. I have to update it on the ticker. So y'all got to give me a little bit of grace on that one. Let's go. I'm speaking to on the line, 267.
Oh, ABL, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, cool. So I'm glad you so the last caller literally just said Ukrainians are building a ski resort, I heard, $2 billion ski resort.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's something for me to look up. That's very interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
But, go ahead.
I say absolutely, for sure.
Oh yeah. So ABL, I wanted to ask you about this whole Doge thing because me and a few other people. So basically, from what I'm hearing on the Republican side is they laying off all the people from the government jobs. So basically, the reason why they're laying off everyone from the government jobs is basically because is it one of those they hired too many people that wasn't doing nothing. Not that they weren't doing their jobs, but it was positions that weren't needed, and they're just trying to shrink the size of the government.
Well, what's happening is they're trying to shrink the government by about 5 to 10%. And they think they can do that by getting rid of useless positions or positions that could be done in a more efficient way. Because you got a lot of people that just kind of riding the clock. They are working remote, but not really working. So a lot of these jobs aren't needed. And that's kind of what's going on. Ultimately, we want to have the goal of cutting it by 5 to 10% by eliminating unnecessary jobs.
Oh, so that's what's going on. They're just eliminating unnecessary jobs. It's not basically because you keep hearing all these mass layoffs from the government. But basically what's going on, because I heard about them. They said they wanted to shrink the government. But basically, so that's what's going on. It's basically a lot of jobs that aren't really needed that are basically they're just terminating the positions altogether. It's not even just the positions.
Yeah, it's the jobs. Like if they're not needed, the job is gone.
Oh, basically that makes a lot of sense then. And a lot of people were just being upset at the fact that all these people are losing jobs. Now it's going to add to the unemployment because now all these layoff workers they got to try to find jobs now. So it's going to make it harder for other Americans.
That'd be all right at the end of the day. I mean, seriously, because These people claim to be very skilled, very knowledgeable, got a lot of education. They'll be all right.
Oh, all right. So they can. That's what same thing I was thinking. I said they probably can go get another high advanced job. They're not like ordinary American citizens. It's not like they're gonna go working from the government to go working a regular Walmart job or something like that.
Nah. And you know the crazy part is that a lot of these people will probably tell the coal miners that lost their jobs, hey, learn the code. And these coal miners have been doing that their whole life, and they don't have a lot of education. But for someone who lost their federal job, they probably got a lot of education, a lot of friends, family, resources, money saved up. They'd be totally fine. I don't feel like celebratory because they got fired, but I don't feel bad because it'd be all right.
Oh yeah, and plus they were offered buyouts too before Trump got in office, weren't they?
Exactly, yes. And the thing is, most people when they get laid off, ain't no buyout. It's okay. You're getting your last paycheck for the time you worked and goodbye.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense then. And one more thing, ABL, I wanted to ask you is, damn, it was on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, I'm glad you explained the whole Doge thing to me. It's basically they're just shrinking the size of the government, and they want to stop a lot of unnecessary spending. That's basically what's going on.
Right, yes.
All right, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I got to look up, I want to look up that skating ring. It's probably going to be flooded in the algorithm or something. But yeah, and because I had a few people that said that they felt like their taxes were affected because they felt like Trump was laying a lot of the IRS people off. So like they saying people with taxes were affected.
I don't know how they're going to be affected. Like I don't really know. You know, I don't know how that will really happen with the IRS people being laid off because they're not going to answer the phone no way. So what are they really talking about?
Yeah, I got you. Well, I don't want to keep you on the phone too long, ABL. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a good night.
Same to you. All right, shout out to the call. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. Let's go to 403. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Joseph. How you doing, ABL, my friend, my brother?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Yeah, good. I haven't heard really from you, and I'm sorry. I don't want to jump you with this, but have you come to the realization that that girl hit the other girl on the relay track for fully on purpose on the back of her head?
I still feel the same way I felt before.
Hey?
Did you hear me?
No. No, I haven't heard your actual, like, you were on kind of as an accident thing, but I don't hear like a lot of your podcasts all the time, like pull through. Have you already admitted to that?
I still feel the same way I felt before.
That it was an accident?
Yes.
Okay. That's it. Okay. Well, good on you, bro.
There it is, man. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, man. That's good. I that you're wrong, but it's fine. Like,
that's fine. You can believe that. Everybody got their opinion.
Can you talk to me, bro? You've run track. You've seen track.
I mean, hold on, caller. Listen. Hear me very well.
Yes.
I'm not trying to really talk about the same thing I talked about before. Like, I'm not gonna say anything new to you.
Yeah, I don't want to relitigate it either. I'm with you on that. Like, it's over. It's a done deal. But I'm surprised to hear you stick to your guns like that.
I mean, I always done that. Ain't nothing different.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
All right.
She smashed her on the back of the head on purpose.
Okay. I mean, like, okay, but look, like, you have your opinion and I have mine. So what are you going to accomplish right now on this phone call?
Nothing but establishing that we live in a free country and everybody can have their own opinion. We're watching the same movie, I guess, different channels, but it's fine. No, I love you, bro. You're good. You're great. I wanted to just put that on record.
Great. I'm glad you gave me your opinion. I appreciate it, boss. Thank you for your call.
Love you, man. I love you, man. I love you. Thanks.
All righty. All right, man. Hey, everybody got their opinion, but it's like, if you ask me a question and I answer it, and then you give your opinion, it's like, okay, now what? Now what? If I'm wrong, if people say I'm wrong, I don't even really care. I'm gonna stick by my guns and say what I said. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. 559, you're on line. I'm speaker to.
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, man. You know, I was wondering what your opinion was with the U.S. and the world right now with all these wars going on all around the world. And I mean, do you think that we really have a role in it, or should we be concerned more with our America First policy and withdraw from all of these different war zones around the world and focus on building America first? I'm just wondering what your take on everything is.
I'm definitely against all the foreign wars, all of them. So that's a big part, or the reason why I voted for Trump is because he was also against all the foreign wars. You see what he's trying to do right now with the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. He's leaning very heavily on these men to end the war. So I'm against all foreign war. I think they should all come to an end. And if they don't want to end, if they're not going to stop, then I don't think it's our place to be intervening in everything.
Right. Do you think that we should stay in NATO and pay for the Europeans' protection and pay for, you know, other nations' protection around the world? Or do you think that we should probably withdraw from like the UN and other things like that as well if they continue to be hostile towards each other and expect us to be the world's police? What's your take on us with that?
It doesn't have to be a complete withdrawal from NATO. That's not necessarily necessary. But we need to get a better deal. It can't just be we do everything and they do nothing. If we're going to be in NATO, let's let it benefit us. That's pretty much where I look at it. So kind of like where Trump was talking about with Ukraine, let's get some of those rare earth minerals. How about that? Like, let's strike a deal. If it makes sense for us, then let's do it. If it doesn't, then let's not do it.
Right. You know, I was listening to Colonel Douglas McGregor, and I'll finish on my last point here, so that way I won't keep you any much longer. But, you know, he was saying that we probably should consider replacing, well, the Ukrainian people should try to replace Zelensky first, but if not, we should use our cards and our weight and our influence to possibly replace him as the leader of Ukraine. Do you think that we should focus on something like that, or you think that replacing him would make things even more unstable? I mean, is he kind of like the Saddam Hussein of Ukraine? Like, you know, when we went into Iraq and removed Saddam, it seems like it destabilized things even worse. I'm wondering if that would be the same effect. What do you think?
I'm not really into regime change.
Yeah, I hear you, ABL. And I agree with you 100% on that. As much as I hate Zelensky and him as a dictator, I think that removing him would probably be a much worse positioning than where we're at now. So anyway, thanks so much, ABL, for your comments on all those questions. I do appreciate your time. God bless you, sir, and God bless America.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. I see a comment. It says, sometimes ABL is way off. What you're going to do is name one other video in which you think, in which I was wrong. The whole baby went on the side of the road. You're going to name that one. But aside from that one, tell me when I'm off. Like, I want to know, like, for real, I want to know when I'm off so I can kind of understand, you know, if I got a blind spot. The whole thing with the girl in the baton, we can talk about it all day long, but I still feel the way I feel. But what else have I been way off on? Y'all let me know. All right. And again, the number to call, do I have it right in front of me? The number to call is, hold on. I lost it my own self. Hold on. 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. 706-406-3287. The number will be in the description box and is right there in the chat as well. But y'all let me know. What did I get wrong? What did I get off on? What did I get not off? What did I get wrong? What was I way off on? Yeah, baby on the side of the road, that was crazy. Eric Adams, what did I say about Eric Adams that was wrong? Y'all let me know. Let me see. The meet and greets are happening very soon. It's starting to get warm now, so I'm starting to call around and get some things scheduled ASAP. All right. Hold on. The immigrant in Ukraine that was complaining that he couldn't leave with the women and children. I don't even remember that one. That's a throwback. I don't even remember that one. Maybe I was wrong, but I don't remember that video, actually, to be totally honest. The audio is different. Is it too low? Is it high? Y'all let me know. I don't know. But anyway, the number to call 434-658-122. I'm sorry. I didn't say the number for so many years. I didn't forget that I got a new number. And the reason why the number is changed, if you guys are just now coming in, the reason why the number is changed is because Skype is starting to go away. It'll be totally gone in May. So when Skype goes away, I cannot use it anymore, and I cannot use that number either. I tried porting the number to Google Voice and the other things. It wasn't going to work. It was unportable. So I had to get a new number. This is a Google Voice number, and it'll only ring when I'm on the show. It's low. Is it? Hold on. I know what's happening. I know what happened. Google Voice changed it. Hold on. Let me fix it. See. All right, we got some growing pains here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I see exactly what happened. Y'all give me a second. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. I see my audio is really low, but I know exactly what did it. And let me turn it up. All right, there we go. Test. Is that too high or we good? It looks like it's perfect right there. That's right in the red area. Now, did my audio change when I turned on Google Voice, or was it already like that? Y'all let me know. Yeah, blame the white man on that one for sure. Blame the white man. Yeah, I know, Veronica. Veronica says Skype is becoming a dinosaur technology. I know, but it's still pretty good. 509, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Shelly.
Hello, how are you?
I'm from Washington State. I've been watching you for a few months, and I love your program.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I like to listen to intelligent, smart black men because I want to see what you guys' point of view is.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I grew up in Washington State, and I haven't really seen any racist stuff. I mean, we have all kinds of people, and I'm a nurse, and so I work in the hospital, and I work with all kinds of people, and I just don't see all that stuff around me. So it's kind of interesting. But, yeah, I agree with you. It's an accident, and I think it's so petty to fight over something as minute as that.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's also, we're talking about high school kids, so I think we got to give them a little bit of grace. It's high school kids.
Yeah,
so,
because things happen. I mean, you ought to take her word for it until you can't trust them. Once they lie to you over and over, then you don't trust them anymore.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, our state is going to crapola. We got Bob Ferguson up here, and he's trying to trans babies now and take parents' rights away from them so that they can't tell their 13-year-old anything, and the schools don't have to tell the parents if they were sexually assaulted or raped for 2 days, 48 hours. It's a crap show here. But I've been here. Today's my birthday, so I'm thankful that I got through. And I've been here 57 years, but I just don't know what to do anymore. The Democrats, they're corrupt. Once they take over your state, you're screwed.
You're right about that. So hopefully you enjoying your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, today's my birthday. I just lost my dad July 8th, and then my brother died from laced fentanyl on August 1st. And so I'm kind of recovering from all that. But I'm so happy I got a hold of you. I've been trying to call and the number wouldn't go through, so I was talking to your mod. But yeah, you're awesome. I mean, we got to have some common sense. I mean, this stuff is ridiculous. You can only tax us so much. When you have to pay 3 months of your income in federal taxes and you only got 9 months left, and then they raise prices on everything, you know, I mean, what else are you going to do?
I understand. Totally get it.
You know, I went to school. You know how I went to school? I paid for it myself. I worked overtime. I got my bachelor's in nursing, and it took me a while, but I did it. I mean, people just don't have any oomph anymore. We need some oomph back.
We sure do. We really do.
So just pray for Washington, because we're struggling here. You know, our raises are, I haven't had a raise in 10 years, and our cost of living probably is almost as high as California. And of course, we're paying the climate tax, you know, the 50 cents a gallon. I don't see the climate getting any better, but anyways, I love talking to you. You're doing a great job, and I love watching your show. I'm kind of bummed right now because I can't see what's going on.
Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay, take care.
Same to you. All right, so I see what's going on. Okay, what are we doing? I'm sorry for the noises. I see what's happening, though. What's happening is when I get a phone call, the browser will take over my audio and it'll manually change it or automatically change it. So it'll like reduce it to a level that they say it's supposed to be good for the, but it's like, I don't want them to, so I got to go back and it's a little bit of a thing I got to iron out on the back end, probably when I'm done with the show. But right now, I can't really do it. 504, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, my name's Brennan.
All righty, what's happening? I can't hear you, boss. You got a bad connection.
Hey, can you hear me now?
A little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was curious what your thoughts are, because I keep seeing people commenting on stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't really. You're breaking up real bad. I apologize for having to do that. But shout out to you, man. Like when you in the better, when you're not in the I don't know where you at, but I can't really hear you. 504, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right, I'm glad I was able to get through during this new time of with the new number. This is great. Well, a shout out to you and all the callers in the show, and I've been enjoying it. All right, so basically my points about the topics that are going on is that, all right, so first of all, I'm glad that you covered and did a video about the astronauts coming back. I've been covering it for months, and been, researching it and stuff. And I am so glad to finally see that they have gotten back. And when I was watching the trial the other day, I was watching two, there was a live stream about it, and then I was reminded about it by one of my friends in the chat. And I went over there and watched it, and it was just a very majestic sight to see.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was great. I love seeing it happen. And it was a good thing that we're able to have Elon involved with that. And I think to a lot of the country, they have been brainwashed by television. So if they see him do something like that, maybe that'll kind of impact the brainwashing to get rid of it a little bit. That's what I hope.
Yes, absolutely. Because first of all, back when although the moon landing controversial for some people, well, I would just say like the moon landing, they had the same thing. They landed in the water, and it's good to see in this HD and modern age how you could see it land with our live streaming, like on a computer, which is something even in the 90s, I think that would be far-fetched. And you could see the beautiful blue sky, and you have those parachutes and the red and whites, on them. And then the dolphins, they were glad to be on TV and tell everybody, the world, hello. And it's, I think, a great learning experience for everybody.
Oh, it was great. Fantastic. Everything about it was great.
Yeah, and I think it was good that they had the Russian one, and I think it's good to have people from different countries, like say China, Russia, America. If we could get along and do space exploration, and also if they could explore the oceans and stuff, rather than trying to get in more wars and conflicts, I think that would be great for humanity to go forward in that direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah, so hopefully that it undoes the brainwashing, because as we said before, Elon's the new boogeyman, and people think that he is evil and bad, but it's good that he was involved in helping them get back. And in my opinion, and I could be wrong, I don't know if Joe Brandon was being political about not having him do it before, but I could be wrong. I think that he's more concerned about eating ice cream in his basement.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And also I'll say about the Don Lemonade is that, he needs to pick up a history book, because the Democrat Party were the ones that had slavery. Both sides may have had slavery, but I feel that the Democrats really were the ones pushing it the most, and they were not really great with the black people movement, in my opinion. The Republicans, I feel, did better with that and did very good with that. But, he doesn't even understand that, because Republican, from what I did research on, was a black thing for black people, in my opinion.
It was like that from the beginning, because some of the first senators ever back in the 1800s, these were black men. Some of the first black senators, black men. It wasn't until I want to say the 80s or 90s where you had the first black Democratic senator. The first black Republicans, 1800s. Black Democrats didn't really start to get motion until the 80s or 90s, the 1980s, 1990s.
Yes, absolutely. And I've done research on that as well. And yeah, and I think that they want in my opinion, a black, person that's weak, like on the plantation, and him being harassed and stuff. I think, that he needs to grow a pair and not let people do that to him. Like, for instance, you wouldn't let no one do that to you. That's why they wouldn't want you over there, because you wouldn't put up with it.
Exactly.
Right. And also with other things I was looking into about Martin Luther King, and this is controversial. Now, people say that he was a Marxist and stuff. He may have there are some quotes he may have said. He said that were socialistic, but he did say about communism, like Marxism, like from Russia, it was a godless ideology and materialistic that would destroy the community in America. And I think that he would not be in favor of his people going towards BLM and the Marxist ideology. In my opinion, controversial, but that is my take on that.
Right on.
Right. And also, I think Schumer, he seems kind of it talks like a dictator or some kind of a villain or something. And it's like he feels challenged by us.
Yeah, because, when you can't defeat someone, you kind of sometimes become aggressive. I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah. And also, today I was watching a cringe trial, and it was, the chat was hilarious today, and it was everybody was roasting one of the guys that was cheating, was helping the defendant cheat, and also the other situation where they had this attorney, and he kept talking about the divorce stuff, and the judge was telling him he has to stay on topic on the trial, and he wasn't putting up with nonsense. The chat was really hilarious today.
I love seeing stuff like that, when you're able to see people really get kind of, put in place and do the right thing, live like that, and the judge interact with them. I love seeing those kind of interactions.
Right. And before I go, I want to say that the French are extremely inappropriate what they're saying, because any other country like, Russia, China, in my opinion, would not have a great response if they were to talk like that, and especially all the help we've given to France. And I have one of the friends from my trial chat over there that she told me that it's not free over there, and that they have no trial coverage over Europe, whole Europe. And it's not free, it's really restrictive. And we have that over here. All those people stay up really late to watch our country and our democratic republic process. And I think that they're not a free country, and they're completely going backwards like Germany and the rest of Western Europe.
Absolutely.
Right. And okay, ABL, you have a good night, and thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to Alien Spaceship. Great call. I want to show you guys something right quick. Speaking about black senators and whatnot, like I was saying, the first black senators came about like in the 90s, for real, the 90s, the 1990s. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys something. This is on CNN. ABL, what's the source? CNN. Let's look at this right quick. Hold on. So it says only been 11 black senators in the entire history of the U.S. Senate, right? Now, let's look at them in order, shall we? You know what? This is going to be very funny, actually. Watch this. This is going to be so funny when you see what they did. Okay, so you got pictures. Hiram Revels, Republican. Obviously, that's a very old picture. He became senator in 1871. A Republican. One more time. Hiram Revels, a Republican, became senator in 1871. Okay? Again, we're on CNN. Blanche K. Bruce, Republican. Clear old picture. Light-skinned brother is fine. Steph Curry, daddy. Okay, when's this? This is 1875. A Republican. Edward Brooke, Republican. He was in 1967. 1967. Okay? Republican. Now, a black and white picture, really, for Carolyn Mosley Braun. If she's still living, she became senator for one term in 1993. 1993. ABL, the party's party switch. The Democrats have never loved us. 1993. Okay? And it's in order. Then we got to go Obama. Obama. Need I say more? Need I say more? Ben Carson was not a senator. Ben Carson was never in the government, I don't think. Ben Carson was just a doctor, like a neurosurgeon, a brain surgeon. I don't think it was ever... Was Ben Carson in government? I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. But yeah, that tells you what's going on right there. Listen, 1870s, first Republican senators, first black Republican senators, 1870s. The first black Democratic senators, the 90s, 1990s. Can't make it up. You cannot make it up. All righty. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I think I was able to fix the problem with the sound. I think I did fix it. I just denied. I don't let apps take it. I don't let apps take control of my sound. So I think I was able to do it that way, and I think I'm good to go. Yes, I think we straight on that. So we should be good going forward. I won't have the ducking problem. We turn it up right now, matter of fact. Hold on. Not that one. Let's turn it up here. Okay, perfect. Because what it was doing when I'm talking, it thinks it needs to quiet me down for the other person to have a better conversation with me. So it just automatically reduced the volume on my microphone. But I don't need that right now because it's interfering with the podcast. All right, that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys again for being here. I'll be back live on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think by then, I will have my phone number and everything perfectly fine, so it won't be any kind of hiccups like the way we had today. All right. But shout out to y'all again for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Thank you to everybody who's been watching, retweet, and super chat. And I could not do this show without you. Thank you to the mobs for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I got super chats to read right quick. Then I wrap it on up and put the bowl clean on top. Yeah, they can't quiet me, Kelly K. They cannot quiet me. My voice right now is how I sound in real life. I get told all the time, hey, use your inside voice. I can't. I'm not super loud all the time. Normally, I'm kind of quiet. I don't say a lot. Unless I know you or something like that, then I'll be able to talk. But for the most part, I don't speak when I don't need to speak. And sometimes, though, I get talkative with anybody. Stranger on the street, somebody I know, I get talkative. I done been told use your inside voice. I was trying to whisper one time, and it was like everybody heard me still. I said something, whispering in somebody's ear. Like, hey, that guy's breath. Hey, that guy's breath stinks. I'm saying it loud like that, right? But in my mind, I'm whispering. But hey, that guy's breath stinks, and the whole room hears me. But I've gotten better about that. I have gotten better about that. So yeah, shout out Google Voice. You cannot silence me, Google Voice. It's not gonna happen. We've already bypassed your little feature you got trying to control a microphone, trying to quiet the mic. We're not gonna do that. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I got super chats on deck. I'll read those right quick, then wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkits, who says, oh, you give to the ABL members. Thank you for that, man. Thank you to Bob K. MIT, who says, a senior at IC Norcom High School faces an assault and battery charge. That ain't gonna happen. That's what they're not gonna charge a 16-year-old girl with assault and battery for a high school fight. If that's the case, I done seen people get dumped on their head like a pile driver and go to the office and get a note, and that's it. Ain't gonna be no assault and battery for no high school fight. If you believe that, if you believe she's gonna get convicted and go to court, man, please. Virginia got bigger fish to fry. Virginia got these YNs shooting and thugging and drugging. They got bigger fish to fry over a high school fight. I promise they do. But shout out to you, Bob. I appreciate you. Thank you to Brent Armstrong, who says, we got people out here saying it's fake, shaking my head. All right, so that'll be a wrap for me. I appreciate y'all for joining. You guys are the best. I'll be back live again on Saturday. Oh, and also, you're listening to an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. If you want the Novax hat or any other hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more, just go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. Follow us on Rumble. Rumble.com, Anthony B. Logan. You can find me easily. I'm verified on Rumble. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going to show you Rumble before we leave here. Shout out to Rumble. Uncle ABL, that's coming back with a vengeance. I got my content schedule perfected. So you're going to see a lot more over on Uncle ABL. I might even do a video about the Hilaria Baldwin. I might do something about that. That'd be perfect for Uncle ABL. That'd be perfect for that channel. Talking about these men getting dominated by their wives. Hold on. This right here is the Rumble. All right. So we got, you see the videos over here. Hold on. I like the way that looks in there. Let me see if I can just tweak that a little bit. Yeah, let's tweak that a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. All right. That's a little bit better. Okay, perfect. So you can see verified. We got 1.23, about 1,200 subscribers. Pretty good on Rumble. I'm verified here. All the content, all the videos. And I got to get it set up to stream on there as well. Would you guys watch this stream if it was also on Rumble? I'm not going to take it and put it over there exclusively. What I would do is simulcast. So I'll be over here as normal, but also over there if you want it. Y'all let me know. Y'all give me some feedback on that. But all the content is over here. You can check it out over on the Rumbles. All righty. Okay, 1,000 views on that one. That's interesting. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I'll be back live again on Saturday. But I'm here every day, same bat time, same bat place, putting out content pre-recorded. And that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.